All right. All right. What's up? What's going on? Are you all there? Are you there? Are you there? Ah! Tonight. Tonight. Okay, so we got two powerful stories on tonight. Is this show is going to get ready to be epic, and it came together. So God does all things well, and so it came together, kind of just like just like right then. You know what I mean? It just kind of came together like right now. Okay, let me. Oh, it's one thing I needed to add. Let me go back here and edit real quick. Make sure we showing up on Facebook as well. We on Facebook, we on Pixel. Let's see here. Save changes. So we can make sure that we have our Facebook people on as well. All right, and we are on Facebook, we are on Pixel, we are on Apple TV, we are on all platforms. So you are watching. Let's get our numbers up so that when we bring our guests on, we can have some great numbers for them. Let's get our numbers up. We got two very, 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 very interesting stories. Two very interesting stories, and I cannot wait to dig in. Cannot wait to dig in. So you want to start liking, you want to start sharing, you want to start letting Lottie Dottie and everybody know that Sir William is on. The originator of this. There wasn't nobody talking about Black church. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. I am. Everybody. I don't care how big their platform is or how big they think they are. This is the man that started all of this. And so it is just, let me make sure we've got everything in place. All right. Okay. All right, we're doing good. All right, come on. Let's get our numbers up. Let's keep liking and sharing. Let everyone know. Do you all see us on Facebook? Are my Facebook people up? All right, Goddess Fatima, how are you? How are you? She is my angel. Goddess. She is already spoken for, but he just knows that she my sunshine too. So he just had to deal with it. We are Goddess Fatima. We are in a polyamory. What do we have going on over here? Are we poly, baby? Are we polyamory? Are we are we polyamory? What what kind of triangle are we? Oh, wait a minute. So they are already backstage. I'm running off in my mouth thinking I was giving them time to get on, and they are already here. Okay, so we have two people that we're going to bring up that's going to be on Wednesday Night Live with Sir William. Tonight we're getting Instagram is going. Greetings, Instagram. Let us know. Special guest, if you all would please let your peeps know that we are that you all are live with Sir William. Would be greatly appreciated. Let's get this other camera going. Y'all, I'm by myself tonight, so, and y'all know I don't know anything about electricy. I don't know anything. I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything. Oh, we need some more light. I do know that. I know that part. Okay. All right, so we got some more light. Okay, let's go live. Let's go live on TikTok. All right, and our giving led off tonight. We had our one person that led off tonight with giving, and they did $12. So the whatever the lead offering is as that is what we ask for everyone to support Obnoxious Media, Black owned, operated media. We ask for your. We live off of. And we're able to do what we do off of your donations, your contributions. Thank you all that recently helped us with our trip to Memphis, Tennessee, to cover the April call meeting of the Church of God in Christ, and all of that fantastic stuff that went on there. Well, fantastic and not so fantastic, because nothing really go on other than Thurston campaigning for another for his election, the chairman running to be chairman again of the General Assembly. So, but we'll get into all of that. Let me tell you something. We have two special guests that's going to be with us on tonight, and we're going to dive into their stories. I'm going to open up the floor to them and allow them to share their experience, share what happened and what went on with them, and how sometimes following and having being under the leadership of a charismatic man, a man that is gifted and talented and has the ability to lead, that you have that sometimes that you can be weak and you can be drawn and pulled into stuff. And sometimes that the stuff that you're being pulled into is not right. But many of us that are members of Black churches, we know that a lot of times there's some things that we wouldn't have done, that ordinarily we would not have done if the man of God, am I talking right? If he didn't say, well, you know what Bishop said. I knew it wasn't right, but Bishop asked. I knew it was not to my best interest, but the man of God asked me, the woman of God asked me, the bishop asked me, the pastor asked me. And then those of us that have that longing to be a part, can be a real dangerous thing. You want to be a part of that sorority. You want to be a part of that fraternity. You want to be an Eastern Star. You want to be a Mason. That needing and that longing to be a part of a group larger than you, accepted in that group too. And then when you are, the honor, and this is one thing that April pointed out, that the clique, so to speak. Oh, I went over to the bishop's house for dinner. Oh, I went out to eat after church. Where are you going? Oh, but Bishop, I'm going with the bishop. So then you feel like you're a part of this elite clique. You feel like you're part of the frozen or the chosen group, the elite members or the special VIP members, and then you suddenly have position, and you suddenly have you a parking space, and you sitting with the wife, or you say, you have those kind of things, and those kind of all of that kind of stuff. So we're gonna dive into it. I know y'all want me to get into. Let me tell you something. Let me share something with you. Let me share something with you all. When I started my blog, however many years ago, I said that obnoxious is a thought-provoking form of expression that is unobjectively hot. It is a person, place, thing, or topic that's so big that it has to be called out and examined through popular eyes. But this is what I always stand true to, that I will be the essence of style, class, and intelligence. So I'm not going to get into, mudslinging with a drug addict prostitute that's being paid by somebody that ain't never met me, and being paid by somebody and being compensated by somebody to go on their platform. And I could dox you. I want to know what Jennifer say, because that's the woman who wound you come out of. So I want to know what Jennifer has to say about you, what your mama has to say, because we didn't had a conversation with her. And so when your mama talked to a stranger bad about you, your whole mama. So anyway, so I'm just, I'm what I look like sitting up at Morehouse College magna cum laude graduate. You all can call 404-681-3800 for all of you, and you can ask for the registrar's office to verify my degree, and then you can also call over to Emory University and verify that that I'm in law school. For those of you that seem to have a problem, see, this is real education and upper echelon Black. I grew up in Jack and Jill, so how dare I argue and get off my pale white horse to talk with somebody that sell their body and do crack cocaine in a trailer with their lover. I can't. Marquise, I can't. I looked into it like Lexi said, and I can't. All right. Because I look like April already sitting here with attitude. So let me go and ring her. She already got that. She already got that sapphire. She's sitting here like, boo. She's ready. She ready to go. And I got some questions because I want to know. Did Bishop hit it good, and did he hit it right? She already told us he ate her, baby. Bishop is a eater. So she already told us that he ate her up, baby. He wasn't turning down his plate for the Lord, honey. He was turning down his plate for that cat. Meow. And then we got a gentleman. Let me tell y'all something too. Men can be victims as well. So we also have Brandon that is with us on tonight. And Brandon was a member of a woman's church. That's the first problem right there. She didn't have no business. Let me tell you, the Lord only used women when a man wasn't in place. He didn't have no business over there at that woman's church. But anyway, and we have to be careful with him because actually, this is, and not that April's is not serious. All of these stories are very, very serious. Thank you. I'll get these messages. And when you reach to a level where someone sends threats against your life, okay, and I've been the recipient of that, so I know what that feels like. And so we want to be very, very careful. So he's a very brave gentleman that he's going to be joining us on tonight. So we're going to get right into it. Goddess Fatima is here. She'll be helping me monitor. Hey, baby, are you just going to do Facebook, or are you going to be able to do the others as well? All right, TikTok, let's run us up. We are also on TikTok. We're also on Instagram. If y'all make sure that you all can hear me over there, and that you all will be able to hear our guest as well. And here we go. All right, we're adding to the stage. And we're going to add Brother Brandon. Greetings. How are you all tonight?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Hi, William.
Good. Hey, how are you? How are you all? First of all, I want to thank you all so very much for y'all being brave and you all being able to come forward. You all sharing your stories you're unfortunate. Is it past your bedtime, nurse?
I was asleep. I got up for you. Okay.
I'm just messing with you.
Okay.
But no, for you to really, for you to share and to be open and willing and vulnerable and transparent, to share your stories with us on tonight, I am greatly appreciative that you thought enough of me, and my platform to do your stories justice, and that the main thing is that when I set out, because a lot of people get I think a lot of people, not that I think, I know a lot of people get what the where Obnoxious started. They get the whole premise of it wrong. I was, as the son of a bishop and a pastor, I was really I got really, really vexed and really, really tired of hearing these constant stories. I was molested, I was raped, I was taken advantage of, I was robbed, I was used, I was all of these horrific stories. And it was not a platform, it wasn't an outlet, it wasn't a way. I started blogging on MySpace. That's how long I've been in the game. And so it's not a hate. I don't think we hate the church. I don't think that, and I know that we don't. But we became, or we felt victims to people that abuse position in the church, or within church, to prey on people, to take advantage of people. So April, let's just jump right in there and just share. Now you're the first. Let me tell you, you are the first person that I have used picture on YouTube to lead into the story outside of my own pretty face. So you are the first. It was either on YouTube. I think we did it. Fatima, did we do it on YouTube, or we did it on the text message? I think it might have been on the text message, and that went out to about 3,000 people. So in the body dress with the bags. Yeah, we use that one to show. I wanted to show that these
Everybody
critters,
using that picture. Okay.
because at least Bishop got some good taste. So at least he got some good taste. So just share with us. I mean, how does you're a nurse, professional? How does and married? And that's interesting to me right there, and that you've been able to save or maintain your marriage even throughout, which is noble of your husband, because a lot of times, just being in a male dominated society, that we a lot of times women will stay and tolerate certain things, but men won't. So that's amazing. So how did this 8 years? How did this happen? What went on? How did you get lured or persuaded into this whole entire situation? And did Michael's kind of sweep you off your feet, or what? Or
It's
was
kind
it
of
an
like what you
ongoing
said before you
process?
brought us on stage about being charismatic. That's what he
Mhm.
was, full of like charm and, I mean, but while it's happening, I'm not knowing that's happening. I'm thinking that this is his personality. This is who he is. And
Mhm.
then once you get out of it and you look back, you was like, oh, well, these were his tactics. It wasn't 8 years. I said he was my bishop of 8 years. I wasn't
Okay.
having an affair with him for 8 years. That's
Okay.
fine. The header can stay that way. But I just want to say I wasn't having an affair with him for 8 years.
Okay.
So I was in the area of where his church is, and I wasn't going to church because I had just previously gotten out of a church. And so I just Googled like churches near me, and then his
Okay.
name popped up. And then so I typed his name in on Facebook, and then I like messaged him and said, just asking about his service, like what time does it start, like address and stuff like that. And so he
Right.
didn't
Right.
see it right away. So he saw it because it went to the filtered messages thing. You're
Yeah.
not somebody's friend that goes there. So then that was that. He replied like 2 weeks later. And then when I say that I talked to him on the outside, because people was thinking I was having an affair with him before I ever came to church. No, I'm saying I talked to him on the outside, meaning he invited me versus me just showing up to a building.
Okay.
So he only talked to me like a couple of days before that. And then, a few days later, I went to church that Sunday and I took my husband, but it wasn't my husband at that time. He was like, oh, we'd love to have you, bring your family. So that's what I did. And so we just started going. And then, I just kept going and he kept staying in touch with me. And then the more I talked to him, the more I liked him, the more I liked the things that he would say, and then I started confiding in him, telling him all my stuff, my life, everything I've been through. And then he became a person that was always like, in my ear, always just, a call away. And that's how it happened. So
Right.
then
But
I
then,
was
look,
already
well,
like,
that's an interesting point. Were there some things going on in your relationship that allowed it to be a gateway or allowed it to be where, because you were already you wasn't married to your husband at that time, but you were in a relationship with him?
yeah, we was just going together. It wasn't nothing going on with my relationship. It's just
Okay.
like a bishop can say stuff to you, like spiritual things that if your spouse or whoever you're with probably don't know to say to you because they're
Okay.
not in the church heavy. So that's really what it was. Like I was listening to all the spiritual things that he was saying because that's how he came. He didn't come at me sexual first.
Okay.
So I'm
Okay.
already like,
So it was like grooming.
I'm already attached to you. And by that time, I'm vulnerable to you. And of course, I'm going to sleep with you. Like I'm saying, he didn't make me. I wasn't raped. I'm saying I went along because I was already there. Like I was already in it.
Right.
And
Right.
I'm not
Right.
making excuses. I'm just saying I went
But
along with
he
it.
had
That's
already
my,
kind of wooed you in a way
right.
that
And then I was attracted to
charisma,
him
then he
like,
could preach.
over the pulpit. Like that might sound crazy, but I was attracted to how he ministered off the pulpit. Not really saying his outer looks. It's just like he was prophetic and stuff like that. Like stuff just kept me like there.
It kept you intrigued.
Right. The stuff that he was saying. And then later on, it became the other stuff.
Okay. Okay.
That's
What
just
was
the
the
truth of how it happened.
church for a period of 8 years? What was the time frame like from you meeting him, starting to go to the church, to the time where it started kind of getting into a romantic situation? What was that time period like?
I would think it will be like I started going in 2017 and I think it became sexual 2019 to like 2022, 2022. Yeah, something along those lines.
Okay, so it wasn't like you just kind of like jumped right into this.
Oh, no. Oh, he talked to me first a long time. That's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't even know it was going to go there until I was already in it and feeling him like that and talking to him like that a lot. And then it went there. I didn't stop it. I went along with it. And yeah, that's what it became.
Wow. So what brought you to the point where you had this kind of that long, just cathartic post where you just really just, I mean, you laid it out.
Yeah, no,
You
because
laid it out,
after
in
we
full
stopped like
detail.
the sexual thing, I kept going. So that's me saying of 8 years because I didn't quit going, you know, even when the sexual part had ceased. I was still going. And then he kept in communication with me periodically. He scaled back on the calling and all that stuff. I was basically following his lead. Whenever he wanted to talk to me, he talked to me. And then when he didn't, I can't make him. It was a back and forth thing. He would go away and say he was convicted and, oh my God, I can't do this. Then he'd stop and then he'd come back. And I don't mean come back sexually. I just mean he would come back like on my line and, start it. It was a whole
it was
entanglement.
Where you all had periods like, okay, we got to stop this. We can't, keep going. Now, so how did you go from dating your husband to, while being involved with Michael, marrying him? Or did you guys get married during the times that you were?
It was during the thing, but I hadn't slept with the bishop yet. But we was already going to the church and I was already talking to him on the phone. And then he did marry us. And I knew that I was going to marry my husband. I mean, I wasn't trying to marry the bishop.
Right.
So even though I know right. But I never wanted to marry him anyways, even if he was single. I'm just saying, I knew that I was still going to marry my husband, even though I knew that the bishop was on my line. Because I felt like it was going to go away.
Your line mean just
like staying in contact with me and stuff. Like me already, and like I knew I was close to the bishop already.
So that's what I would probably call like getting at you, hollering. Is that kind of what that
like
means?
On my line? Yeah, like I was already close to the bishop by the time I married my husband. Like I already close to him. Okay. I hadn't slept with him until after I married my husband. And then so basically.
But you are already, so you went from, let's just kind of walk through it. So you went from, you searched out churches in your area. You contacted him on Facebook. And then you all started communicating after about 2 weeks, and then you eventually went to the church, and then you brought their now husband, but at that time boyfriend, I guess, to the church. Yeah. And you all started going, and then I guess joined, and you enjoyed the service. So how, just kind of explain to us, like, because it's a lot of women out here single and they can't catch a man, and you got a man that's your boyfriend, and you got and you got the pastor as your side piece. So besides being fine, let's please tell us what arsenal you are using, my sister.
And listen, it has nothing to do with me. Like that's solely him. Like I just happen to have that type of guy, because if anybody else, they probably beat my ass. You know what I'm saying? They would have beat my ass. Right. That's just not who he is. He's very I guess understanding, or I wouldn't say understanding because that's not something to understand.
Did you come forward because he found out? Because I know that he got in your text messages, right? Or he got a hold to your phone or something.
Yeah, but that was years ago. He found out in 20 something. That was a couple of years ago. So this is not new to us. This is just new to y'all. Okay. I'll tell you later how it got to me exposing him.
Okay.
But my husband been new. So that's why everybody's like, well, how are you doing? When we're doing fine. We already dealt with it.
Okay.
We already dealt with it. I mean, I ain't saying that he wouldn't tripping out and fucking mad and shit. But yeah, it took a while,
Right. Did y'all have a parting of ways at all?
Hell no. He stayed right here with me.
Through the whole time? The
whole time. We didn't break up. Okay. It wasn't even like we were fighting like that, but you can just tell his, his emotions was different. I slept with the bishop underneath his nose. The bishop slept with him underneath his nose.
Right.
It was trifling. It definitely was trifling.
Yeah, but he was a member of the men's church. Did he join the church as well?
We joined together, and then my husband quit first.
That's how Joseph Walker. I mean, and that he settled with her out of court, but that story that I broke with he's now the presiding bishop of Full Gospel Baptist, but he and the woman that he was dealing with, he would actually, because she was a trustee of the church, So he would call her into meetings and have the husband waiting outside in the lobby area of his office while they were actually getting down in his office. And he would, you know, she told me that he would tell her, oh, it's just getting me off and has me so erect that your husband is right on the other side of this wall. And I'm, you know,
No, I
effing
ain't never do no
you.
shit like that. I ain't never had my husband standing outside the door. Well, hell no.
No, I mean, it was, well, I mean, look, it can get with these preachers now.
No,
It can
I
get
understand. I'm just saying
diabolical.
that wasn't me.
No, I'm not saying you, but what I'm just saying is that just the idea that he was, you know, that they were both members, and so that and I mean that went on for some time, and then, you know, then she exposed it and filed a lawsuit and what have you. So just let's just walk through it, because this is, I mean, it tells like a Tyler Perry movie, girl. I mean, it's
I know
like
it's crazy, but it's real.
yeah, that's what, and that's why, you know, it's real, because the way that it unfolds, So so you join, your
Yep.
husband joins, and you're there, but he is in constant contact with you, and so you all really kind of become friends and
Yeah.
confidants of each
But
other.
it was like so much so, like I wasn't hiding it because it wasn't nothing to hide at that time. When he was calling me, like he would call me and like I was sitting in front of my husband because he wasn't doing anything inappropriate at that time. So I was always answering the phone in front of my
Okay,
husband.
right, okay.
Right.
And so your husband was knowing that you all were having these
Right.
conversations.
Yeah. He knew we was talking a lot. But then he also know, like, I mean, that's my personality. Like if I'm talking to you, I'm clingy on you.
Mhm.
So he knows that about me. So I guess that's
Like,
my
so
fault.
your friends,
Yeah, I'm
you
clingy.
like,
If I'm
you
talking
are,
to you, we like this.
yeah,
So
okay. So he just probably took it as you and the pastor become friends, and he was like just a male friend of yours.
yeah, somebody that I call and tell everything to, because that's literally what, you can't tell somebody your whole life in just one day. So
Right.
bits and pieces here and there, stuff that's
And
currently
he
happening and going on.
and then he was telling you and becoming more vulnerable with you and telling you about his life and his self, right?
Yeah, and he was saying like, it's gonna be all right. God's gonna take care of you. Just stay rooted and grounded in ministry. Don't leave. Just stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just very like positive. Just making a person feel like it's gonna be fine. He's like, I got you. I'm gonna take care of you. You don't have to worry about anything. And take care, I don't mean like financially. I just mean like through ministry. Like,
Right.
if you're experiencing anything, you come talk to me and let me know. So it was a whole lot of that. And like I said, like I was already like clean to the guy.
Exactly. Exactly. When did it go from you all being friends and you being clingy to where he started making a move and it started becoming sexual?
Like 2019 and 2020,
Okay.
somewhere in between there.
Okay. And what was that progression like? How did he, when he eventually made his move, did he verbally gear you up to making the move on you, or did it just kind of like happen? Because I know sex can just like, people act like it can't just happen, but it can really, really happen.
Yeah, it didn't just happen like out the blue. Like we was probably like on FaceTime or something, or he probably said, something flirtatious towards me on FaceTime. Cause he was, say stuff like, "Oh wow, you're so beautiful," and then he would be like, "Oh, I'd love to have you and see what you're like," stuff like that. And then we met, and then like he asked to meet me, like, but I knew that that's what was like. I wasn't being set up. Like I knew that that's what I was going to do.
You was
So we
meeting
just
him.
wasn't in the same place at the same time by chance.
Right. So
Yeah.
so you all, when you, was it a date, or you all made plans that we're going to have sex tonight. We're going.
Yeah, it wasn't a date. He cannot date. He cannot be seen in public. He's too well known with me. So it was private. It was a secret.
Okay.
We were
So
somewhere
you all
in hiding.
So where would, when you all would get together and be sexual, where would you all have sex?
Hotels.
Okay. But
Or
never
he
your
would have
house,
a
'cause I know
friend's
your
house. He had a friend's house, and I never even knew who the friend was because the friend was never there.
Okay. So he had a
Yeah.
bachelor pad. Now I know men that do that too in Atlanta. They it's like two or
Yeah.
three. They'll be roommates, and it's really it's their man cave, and they wives a lot of times think that they're on business trips and they on the other
Right.
side. The
So he
18
had somebody in on what he does, obviously, and that's who house that he would use.
he would use. Okay. And so you knew him. So I guess it was a period of after about 2 years of you knowing him and getting to know him, then he made that move. So how did you feel inclined? Like, what was the process for in your mind that, okay, I've gone from being having a boyfriend, bringing this boyfriend with me to this man's church. My boyfriend trusts me enough to join and be active at this church. And then within that 2 years that you get married to him, he goes from being your boyfriend to your husband. But all at the same time, you're maintaining this friendship relationship that's growing into a relationship with your pastor.
Yeah, it was already too late then. Like I had already knew I fucked up. I was like, I could already see like where this is going, and I'm like,
So April, let me ask you, were you in love?
Yeah, I loved him a lot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Were you in love with your husband as well?
No, not initially.
Okay.
He was just my boyfriend.
Right. Because the reason why I say that, or the reason why I ask that, women and men are very, very different when it comes to emotional attachment. And
Yep.
I would find that it would probably be very difficult for you to have been in love with your husband and able to, or it's something that happens. So I get that, and I appreciate your honesty about that, because that was when I was reading it and looking into your story, I was saying no, it had to be something that was missing in that relationship that would allow you to still be open and vulnerable. What was it? What I want to, because as the son of a pastor, I always am curious as to what it feels like to be the other woman. How did you, after you knew what your pastor looked like, how he looked naked, how big his appendage was, to that same mouth and same tongue that's speaking in tongues over the pulpit is inside of you? How do you feel having experienced that, and then go and then still be able to sit under his ministry?
I had already turned off the spiritual stuff that he was saying. I had already turned that off, and I just started going to church because I liked the praise and worship. The music and the praise and worship team was the best part of the service, because it was sitting there like watching him go forth. But I'm in my head, I know a different him. So I really wasn't even receiving him. I'm just a body in the church, because you're preaching on Sunday and I know that you're going to call me on Monday. So it's just like, I'm just there
So
at that point
at
now,
some
because he
point
wants me
you
to come.
shut off that. You
Right.
shut
Yeah.
him off
That was,
as
yeah.
well.
And we argued about that. I was like, and then that's when he was like, you got to know how to separate the two. When I put that in my post, Because I would come at him about, like, I was wondering, like, how do you do that? And he would say, well, the church has to go on. He would basically say, like, I've been doing it so long, it's like second nature. It's like my job. Meaning he could do what he did with me and still preach,
Well, the
and
gift
have a
and
high
the calling, the Bible clearly tells us the gift and the calling is without repentance. You know what I mean? He could come right up off of you. And
right.
I mean, it's the same way with the victims. When I did the Eddie Long story, like in between church, he would bend the boy over and screw him, and then go right down to the 11 o'clock service and preach, and millions of dollars come in like it wasn't nothing, and still have, the boys behind on his breath. I mean, that was just
Yeah.
that was
I
just the
saw
way
that
it was.
they're smooth. Like, yeah, they got
It
the whole church food.
it was, I mean, it was just, I mean, it was literally unreal. It it, and I think in some ways, after finding, because I was working there, and I remember telling my boss, I was like, Shannon, it's something going on here. Oh, that's just Bishop. Oh, he just loves, they don't have fathers, and so it was always covered with ministry, helping, mentoring,
Yeah,
and
that.
all of that. So when did you, so you're in this on again, off again, kind of, we can't turn it loose relationship with him? When did it start getting to the point where you were saying, look, I've got to, I've got to stop this?
Well, it was his idea to stop. I just went along with it. He was like, I don't know, he kind of was just like on the phone. He called me like crying. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? It looked like God was whipping his ass. I was like, what is wrong with you? He was like, I just can't do this anymore. He was saying a whole bunch of stuff. And I was like, okay. Because
And
nothing you said before. He says that all the time. So I was just like, okay. But when I saw him like really pull back this time, I was like, okay, well, maybe he's for real. So everything did stop. And then, the calling ceased, but he would just check in enough that I would,
to still have some
right.
level.
He would check in enough. He didn't completely go away. He went back to
Did
started
you
like checking on
did
me
you
like as
feel
a member.
sorry for him though? Did you? Because
No, I didn't feel sorry for him. Hell no, I don't feel sorry for you.
no, but I mean,
No.
you didn't. Well, because he said that he had not been sexually active with his wife for 20 years.
No, that was just part of the story. He didn't have to say that. If I'm going to do something with you, I'm going to do it. You don't have to tell me a story. That was just me saying that's just what he voiced to me.
So
I
that
didn't
had
sleep with him
nothing,
because he wasn't sleeping with his wife.
that didn't have anything to do with, oh, okay, well, you ain't had something in 20 years, let me give you some.
No, because if I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to do it. If you sleeping with her or not, it'll have nothing to do with me. You know
Hmm.
what I mean?
What was your relationship like with her?
You can tell that she felt something was going on, and then he told me. Because when you're dealing with someone sexually, they tell you things. So he would tell me, she's asking me about you, saying, do you have anything going on with April? She asked about me a lot. I'm talking about like at the Bible study, on their ride home from church. I was always
Well,
on
because
her
she was
brain.
picking up something. Because
Right,
after you start seeing signs, you start
right.
seeing
Yeah, of
signs
course.
when
And you're a
people
woman.
are having
Right.
when they're having sex. You pick up on vibes and intuition and signs that there's definitely something going on. So when he actually finally made the decision to pull back, is that what provoked you into telling? What provoked you into actually telling?
It was a conversation I had. So she found out because me and my husband went to the church and told her. And that day after we went to the church and told her, that's when she was like, well, I knew something was going on. And I knew that's what you was coming in to tell me, but I just didn't, I couldn't prove that you were sleeping with my husband, but I could feel it. So then she was just asking a lot of questions, like, where did it happen? She's asking me, how did he find time to do it? And I was like, I don't know how he found time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like she wanted me to tell her how he did it to prevent him from doing it in the future. Those are the type of questions she was asking me that I didn't have the answer to, because I don't know the lie he told her to leave. So I don't know.
Wow. How did you get to the point where you and your husband went together to tell her?
I did that for him because he was going to go shoot him in his head. So
let's be careful with saying stuff. Like we don't want to get a shadow.
I'm sorry, but he was like on the verge of flipping out.
So he did react.
Yep. And that's how he reacted. And I was like, well, hold on, calm down. Hold on, wait. Let's figure out something else. And he was like, because the thing with the bishop changed my like attitude, my personality. Like I was up and down, like bipolar and everything. Like I was not the same person when, it took a toll on me.
There was some things going on with you, but he didn't know exactly what it was, I guess.
Right. He could feel it, just like the bishop wife could feel it. Like you can tell when you're with somebody and something else has their attention. So he could tell. So he felt it first, and then he went through my phone. And then when he went through my phone, and then he asked me. And I ain't gonna lie, I was scared as hell. He was like,
guy.
He's like, let me ask you a question.
So as we were reading it, it wasn't like, oh, okay, well, my wife just had an affair and I just kind of went along and I forgave her and went along with it. It was definitely a very serious issue and process.
It's over now, but people are thinking, oh, we're going through something now. We're not. It's over.
It's over now, but y'all dealt with it. But you dealt with it in a very serious and real way when you did deal with it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it was already over. Even when he wanted me to go tell her, he was like, maybe if you go tell her, you can like get over him once his wife knows. That is what he was thinking. But it had already over. I was just still going through the emotions of it, like because the physical can stop, but you're still emotionally attached.
You were still
That's what it was for me.
You were still tied,
right?
To him.
That I was still attached to him, whether he slept with me or not. We didn't even sleep together that many times. So, I was already emotionally attached to him. That's just the truth.
Right. How is that for that void now that you're not? I presume that you're not in communication with him, I'm sure, anymore, or not in communication.
There's no void. I don't have a void. Okay. I'm fine. It was a void then, but I don't feel anything now. Like I don't have nothing in my chest for him.
Because you had to have a period of where you go through some emptiness, you go through some withdrawal. You can't,
Yeah, I dealt with it internally. That's what I'm saying. In my personality and everything changed. I didn't go to counseling or anything. I just dealt with it.
Is your husband there? Is your husband with you?
Mm-hmm.
Will he come on?
Okay, I got to go downstairs with him.
Okay. Well, she's going to go get her husband, Rashad. Mister, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Wow, what a heavy and interesting night. So now let's share with us what you are dealing with, and the first thing, are you safe?
I am right now. As of right now, yeah.
Okay. Now, is this lady that you were going to church because you all both have the same last name? Is she related to you?
She's my mother.
She's your actual biological mother?
From what I know, yeah.
Okay. So fill us in. What's going on, sir?
So I just want, like, a lot of people don't know about my family. Well, they believe that my family is of the Lord, but a lot of people don't know that my family is, I come from a Masonic family. My grandfather was a 33rd degree Mason. My grandmother was an Eastern Star. My aunt was an Eastern Star. My mother is an Eastern Star. And, a lot of my whole family is involved in basically like group work, basically. And a lot of people do not know that. I went to the University of Missouri I graduated in 2019. And as I went there, I transferred there basically from a junior college. And I went through a number change, basically. I went from the number 95 to 13. Basically, it was basically a Masonic ritual I was in. So basically, I was basically in the process of selling my soul to the devil, basically. And basically my mother put me in that, basically. And I just basically, a lot of things came out about childhood and things with me and my siblings and things of that nature. And I started to speak out about it. And basically I was threatened by that. I was threatened for that.
Mm-hmm.
And
So when you say you went from a 90 to a 13,
so,
so are you going around the circle? Were you going through, because I understand, like, Masons, they can't meet on the first floor, they always have to meet on a second floor, and then
it,
it's a certain knock at the door,
it
and
was
then you go
basically, basically I was being sacrificed by my mother, basically. And basically I just was going down on the route to, like, basically, to destruction, basically. And like, LeBron James, he had that same thing happen to him. He went from 23 to 6. I basically went through the same thing.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah, and
when she was sacrificing you, what was transpiring? What was going on?
um, just a lot of demonic stuff. Basically a lot of dark. My life was dark at that moment, and I always wanted to be normal. I always wanted to have friends. I always wanted to, be myself, and I really could. A lot of people thought I was mean, standoffish and things like that. But it was really because of what I was connected to, and I really couldn't, really explain that to a lot of people.
Wow. So how did you how did you kind of, with this being your mom, and the bond between a mother and son a lot of times is just really inseparable. It's I mean, I just, my mom, that's my girl, that's my, you know um sort of like everything. So when did you realize that your mom was introducing you and your family was into something that was not right, or a part of the occult?
So basically, like, growing up, my mother always talk about how my grandfather was into basically the Freemasonry, and basically all our lives. But a lot of people don't see it as that way. They believe that we are of the light, and we're not. A lot of people see it. It's a lot of illusions that's been casted over people's eyes, and a lot of people think they're getting prayed for in church and things of that nature, but they're really being preyed upon. They're going home with attachments and things of that nature, and you know, just recently, like I told you, like basically she tried to take my life from me. I started to speak out about the things that happened. Like I told you, when one of my siblings basically was sold, basically human trafficking. I found that out recently, and I started to speak about that to people. And my mother told me don't say nothing about it because the bishop who it was, she basically told me that he would kill me, basically.
Okay, we want to be careful. He wanted to unalive you.
Basically, and
So
I basically
what bishop did she sacrifice your sister to?
his name is Bishop Rob Watson.
Rob Watson?
Yeah, I don't
Where
know if you know him or not.
where is he based out of?
Last I knew, he was in Delaware.
Mm. So is your sister currently with him?
No, no. This happened as basically like childhood, and these things started coming
So
out
he
like
was sexually involved with your sister as a child?
yeah.
Oh my. Wow. And were you also sex trafficked by your mom
No,
as well?
no, but we was abused though, like as far as like like being beaten, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Basically we grew up really very abusive and things of that nature. Basically we didn't have a regular childhood. Basically there was a lot of demonic things going on. I have another brother. He's in prison right now. He went to jail at 19. He shot somebody in the head. Basically, he was a sacrifice as well too.
Wow. And so now now how is she connected to Terrell Turner?
She was the overseer of his church at one point.
So she would maintain his church when he would go out to evangelize and preach, or?
Hey, basically, yeah, and they fell out. I don't know what happened between them, but she was stating that she was very upset with what he was saying about her. She stated that he called her a witch, and that's very true about her. She's definitely into root work and things of that nature. It's very true.
Mm. So what is it that has caused her to turn to want to unalive you? Or is it because you're speaking out and because you're coming?
Basic reputation, basically. You know, I basically started telling people that, you know, and my name was slandered. They told people I lost my mind, I'm crazy. You know, a lot of allegations started be happening about me and things of that nature. You know, it's all false and it all came from my family. And, you know, I just basically wanted to speak out about it. And like I told you, they was getting ready to open the daycare up this past January. And I spoke out about it. You know, I just felt like I had to say something about what was going on. And, you know, I don't want nobody to go through that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I
And
knew you knew Pastor Turner, so that's why I
right.
reached out to you.
Yeah. Yeah. It was very shocking to me. I know Terrell, and Terrell's um, a really good preacher. Felt like he's a good guy. I know when he was trying to establish a ministry here in Atlanta, and then he had unfortunately had a really bad stroke, and he's like uh, been coming back or recovering from that. So it was just really shocking and alarming to really hear. So are you estranged from all of your family, or is there any of your family that
No,
you
my
have some
excuse me.
resemblance of relationship with or connection to?
No, basically, I've been in isolation right now. Like, I haven't talked to anybody. I'm by myself right now, and that's why I just wanted to reach out to you. Know, I just know how what goes on with these people. You know, they make things look like something that's not. And you know, if I was to die today, tomorrow, pass away, be unalive today and tomorrow, I just want people to know, you know, the narrative that was spent about me is not it's false. You know, it's basically because I spoke out about people in positions of powers and things like that, and you know, people didn't like what I
So
said.
so Masons, because a lot of Baptist people, well, a lot of people in a lot of different denominations are into Masonry and the Eastern Stars. So it's not, I guess you would say it's a cult, or that it's a part
It's very occultish, if you ask me. It's very group like, you know, and you know, it's very secretive. You know, if you speak out against him, you know, a lot of those people are, you know, are serial unalivers, you know, with the spell work and things like that nature. And a lot of people don't know that, you know, and I want to make people aware of what's going on, you know, and I don't want to be a victim of that, you know, regardless of what happens. You know, I just want to know, I want people to know that, you know, I spoke the truth and that's what happened.
of. When did you become aware? How old were you, or when did you start becoming aware that it was something going on very serious with your mom?
You know, just really, really, like, you know, these past few years. But you know, my family has, you know, it's been ups and downs in the family for, you know, since I can remember. You know, so it's not like it's not like it's strange to me or anything like that. It's very common, you know, and what my family portrays to be is very false. Is a lot of false things go on. You know, they're keeping up with the Joneses type of people. You know, and you know, I just was done wrong by them. And I want people to know that, you know, the things they said
What
about me
does that
is,
mean when you say you were done wrong?
you know, basically your family is appointed to love and care for you, you know, protect you, you know, and you know, they basically they outed me basically, you know, they left me for dead, you know, because you know I spoke out about what happened within the family, and they wanted me to basically keep that a secret, and I didn't.
And so, what was the things that you spoke out about? What did you shed light on?
Basically what happened with my sibling, you know, basically like that my family is into witchcraft and things of that nature. And you know, people they got mad about it.
Mm.
And my mother went to the doctor basically. So at this time I was working a job in New York, and my mother went to the doctor and basically lied to everybody and told them that she was sick and the doctor had bad news for her. And basically she went to the doctor trying to get me involuntary committed to a psychiatric unit.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I went to the doctor, I went back to the doctor for an appointment, and he basically questioned my mental sanity based upon what my mother was saying to him.
And so, do you think that some of the things that you were exposed to, where might have caused you to have a breakdown or episode or anything of that sort? That
I wouldn't say it's actually like psychiatric. It's just basically, very heartbreaking. That I had to go through things like that with my family. These are people I trusted these people, and they basically turned their back on me. Basically based upon the truth of who they truly are. They tried to keep who they were hidden. Basically, and I basically became the scapegoat. I basically became the sacrifice for these people.
mm.
Yeah.
How was it when you told Terrell?
I mean, I haven't spoke to Terrell. I haven't spoke to anybody. I reached out to Pastor Turner. He didn't respond to me. But but they're not in ministry together anymore. Like I told you, they basically fell out. Whatever happened with them happened. But I did reach out to him, and I didn't speak to him though. But I
Okay.
spoke to other people, other pastors that I knew, and they basically told me to basically be quiet. Basically like shut up about it. Not to
Mm.
say anything about it. That wasn't my place to speak about it.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. And so how long has it been that you have been kind of like uh I don't want to say on the run, but how long have you been sort of in hiding, or where you are now that's safe and separated from them?
I'm probably going on a year and a half now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What is life like for you?
It's very different, to see my family in a different nature, to be around them for all these years and to really not really see them, who I see them as now. Back then, it's very heartbreaking to realize that a lot of the things I've been through, was caused by them. A lot of loss I took was because of my family, because of the organization they were a part of. The things that the do's and don'ts that they want people to be doing, things like that. It was caused because of my family, and a lot of times I was made to be looked at as the bad guy. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect or anything like that. But these people, they're not good people, if you ask me. And a lot of people lied on me and did a lot of things to me. And I just really was heartbroken, basically.
Mm. Do you think that you could repair do you think that you and your mom could some kind of way back together or reconcile, or that there could
Um,
be peace?
I don't think so. At this point, it's I just love them from a distance. Basically, that's my motto. At this point, I don't have anything against anyone, but just loving them from a distance is basically my motto, because I don't trust them. You know, like a lot of things happen. A lot of things
Not
happen
even
behind
your
my back.
brother or your sister? You don't have communication with them?
I'm one of 6 children. So I don't talk to anyone of them.
Well, so you're the only one that has been able to make an escape. Are the rest of them Eastern Stars and Masons and sort of like going
Um,
along with the?
I believe my one brother. I believe I believe he's definitely a warlock for sure. But my other siblings, I don't not necessarily, but my eldest brother has epilepsy, so not him. But my one brother, I believe definitely that he's definitely into witchcraft.
Mm, wow. Well, we want to. I mean, I just. It's sometimes family dynamics is so so unreal. Are just so and I know this. I took classes on this, and where they would tell us because I was a teacher, and so they would tell us signs and things to look for, behaviors to be aware of, and signs of abuse with the children that were coming into that we were coming in contact with and coming into our classrooms. And so uh, a lot of times, people you think about family being like your family. Yeah, you
Right.
think, oh, it's a mother and a father, and it's a nice and pretty little situation. And a lot of times it's not. It's a mom that's a crackhead. It's a daddy that's a pimp, or a
For
dope
sure.
dealer, or it's a lot of things that's going on. All right, want to stick with you, stick by. Okay, April, we coming back. Are you there with your husband? significant other. Rashad, we're going to still be with you. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good. This is and our viewers are absolutely amazed by you all's life. I don't want to say life story because I think that reduces it or kind of sounds. I think it kind of downplays it. So how was this for you, sir, finding out that your lovely wife was involved in this ongoing relationship or what became a relationship? How was that? How did you process that? How did you handle that?
Well, I still process it like all the time, but I'm just over it. Like when it first happened, I just knew something wasn't right. I knew something was wrong. So I just started paying attention. Then when I got the chance to get access to her phone, something just told me to look through her phone.
Mm-hmm.
And once I saw the messages, I started questioning her about it. And it was just like, she's not the type that's going to sit there and lie about stuff. You know, she's going to tell you what it is. So she told me what it was. And I had to find it within myself to forgive her. You know, we had not just got married, but we got married by this man in 2017. And this happened with us. I think their affair was ended in like 2019 or 2020 or something like that. So it was like a real like slap in the face, but it took a lot. I tell you that, it took a lot. And it took a lot out of what we were building, but we were able to get over it and, you know, move on, and we're back on point.
Mm-hmm. How, because I think for the gentleman listening that's out there, like most times it's the lady stays. A lot of times women stay. Women find the strength within themselves to stay, but a lot of times, or most of the instances that that we hear about, that the bruh just checks out. It's how has that been for you to really?
For a while, I checked out, and that's honestly my whole like attitude, thought process towards her changed. Even to this day, there's things that I used to do that I won't do now. But it's like a process. Like first I went through the hurt and whatever, because me, myself personally, at the time, I was doing everything for the family. And it was like, it's not nothing I did wrong. It was just something that she chose to do. So it was either, do I leave this woman and everything that she means to me and the kids mean to me, or do I just try to make it work and get over? Because I'm a little bit older than her, so I've been through a lot more.
He's way older than me. Tell the truth.
So I was able to process it more.
Right.
She liked to think that, but no, it's not that. It just took something within myself.
But now that she said that at the time that that she loved you, but she was not in love, and she was in love with him, that's how she was able to kind of process or go through this relationship. So
I heard her say that, but I didn't feel that from her. Like when it was going on, I was totally deceived, because a lot of my time was spent traveling. Like I travel for work, so a lot of my time was spent traveling. So a lot of the times I wasn't around. I would be in contact with her on the phone, and we talk, and I'd come home sometime on the weekends or whatever. And I had already built a rapport with the church. I liked the church. You know, the praise and worship team was awesome, like one of the best in South Carolina. I'm not even gonna lie about that. The services, they were exciting and everything like that. And like this man would call me, ask me how I'm doing. He talked to me, he give me like advice. He just had that spirit about him where you could trust him. But I always knew that something was off. And I used to always tell my wife, something is not right about that church. But being that, I'm supporting her and I'm so much into what she wants, I'm like, okay, I'm going to just give it a chance. And I basically let my guard down.
Mm-hmm.
So I blamed her. Yes, I definitely blamed him. And I blamed myself as well because I wasn't there every day like I was supposed to be there every day because I was out taking care of the family.
Has this been a mark on your manhood?
Oh, no. No, it hasn't been a mark of my manhood. A lot of people make jokes and say all this other stuff about, how could I must be a dummy like that. But everybody has a breaking point. And I've been, but I'm not gonna break. Like if I wanted to be done with it, I would have been done with it. If I couldn't find it in my heart to forgive her, I wouldn't have forgave her. I'd have just walked out.
And that's real talk.
So I'm a strong-minded person and everything like that. So if I didn't think I was able to get over it, I would have never even pursued it.
He would not be here.
Right.
Believe that.
Right. Wow.
So
now,
to me, it's just more about just her sleeping with him and him sleeping with her because everybody has sin. Everybody does something that has sin. Everybody's been in relationships where they may have been cheated on or whatever, and they chose to forgive the person that they cheated on. So it's just a matter of how much you're willing to take and how much
because
you're
you
willing
all are
to
family.
forgive.
So how many children do y'all have?
Well, me personally, I have children from a previous marriage, and her children are from, so we have none together.
Okay.
I raised her kids from like one was 2, one was 4, and I met her when she was pregnant with her third child. But it was the love for her that drew me to her, and it was the love that I have for her that kept me there because we're more like family. Well, we are family because we're married, but we were always more like family and friends than anything. So that's how I was able to make it. It made it easier to get over because she's always been my friend.
Right. But your friends betray you.
Yeah, your friends betray you sometimes. Like I said,
because
it's just a
you
matter
have
of
to
what
be
you're going to deal
close
with.
to be able to, and you process. How did y'all get to the point where? Because I think that's an interesting part of the story where you found out, and was that sort of like a part of the ultimatum or the decision for you to stay that you all had to make this confessional or make it public or tell the wife? Was that?
No, this has nothing to do with it because this was years ago. Like I've already dealt with this internally. It's just that what happened was they kept pressing her to like keep a secret. Don't expose him. And they would treat her differently. Like they would spoon feed her just enough to keep her in the range and whatever. But it was like they always treated her different. Everybody like blamed her for the scenario, and it was like he did nothing wrong at all. So she got tired of them like playing in her face, basically. So she came to me one day and she said, babe, I'm going to expose Bishop on the internet. And I tried to talk her out of it. Then I said, you know what? If that's what you're going to do to make you whole again.
Does she still go to the church?
No. We left the church that day that we went to the church.
Saying that once y'all left, people were handling her different.
Right, like her children would reach out to her, his wife would reach out to her, invite her out to lunch and dinner and stuff like that, just to gauge what her mindset is at. But meanwhile, I sit here at home sometime and I could tell when something is off. And she'll just start crying and stuff like that is because they were actually like making her out to be like the bad person. Like she did all this by herself. Like she came on to the bishop and did all this by herself. But in reality, it took 2 to tango, and he took no responsibility for it. And they wanted her to keep all this a secret and hold it all in, where it was physically making her sick. So in order to cast out that demon, I said, look, you gotta let it be known. If that's what you feel, let it be known. And I'm actually glad she let it be known because there are so many stories attached to this bishop that is phenomenal.
Right. We found out about so
many. There's so many stories.
Yeah, we found out about. So
yep.
I have to ask you, you are a traveling nurse.
Yes.
So to process this, was it easier because you have probably had some infidelity or some situations on your extended travels? And
No, it had nothing to do like that. The thing that just made me get over, like I said, was just that my love that I had for her, because we were friends before anything. So it was just like the love that I had for her. And then I knew my part that I played in it, not being there for her 100% like I should have been. Being that I'm traveling and doing other stuff, not as far as with anybody else, but it's just that I wasn't there. So it was easy for me to say, out of sight, out of mind. I'm not there with her. So it's not affecting me as
so
much.
maybe sometimes long distance relationships are not as
It's
successful
not
as
as bad as
they think.
they make out to be.
They're not as good, maybe.
Because I think if I was hearing her face every day and had to be reminded of it every day, I don't think I could have got past it.
It wouldn't have been that gateway.
Right.
That a gateway. Because that was one of the things when I was digging into it, I was trying to figure out how to gauge it. And so I think, like what you're saying, that those time trips and those periods of being away, that he was able to creep in, and she was able to be get fulfilled.
Yeah, because she was always heavy. She was always been heavy into the church, and I knew that about her. And I'm coming from New York. I was never really heavy in the church, and that was one of the first places I ever went to that I really thoroughly enjoyed going to church. And then for all of this to come out, it's just right now I'm at a place where I don't care if I never go to nobody's church again. I still believe in the Lord. I don't believe in man, but I still believe in God. So it's just that. And I used to tell her that these men are just flesh and blood. Like they're gonna tell you whatever they want to what they want you to hear to get what they want out of you. And that's just how I feel to this day.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. I just think it's absolutely fascinating. I am just absolutely just it's almost mind blowing. So April, tell me about the phone call. The son called you, which I thought was really interesting based upon his situation. I'm sure you were aware of it, because it seems like, I guess, the entire congregation was aware that something really unfortunate had transpired with his son. So were you kind of shocked, of all people, that he would be the one to be bold enough to reach out about your post and to call you?
I knew that he would call me as soon as I pressed post. Like, I know him. Like, I knew he was gonna call me, but I thought he would call me and say, "Hey, April, like, what's going on?" Like, just not asking me to remove a post out of respect for your dad. So I knew he would call, but I didn't know he would say what he said.
So would you consider y'all friends, or y'all had some kind of relationship?
Friendly, like I'm saying, like my husband told you, they were hanging out with me. So I just had breakfast with them 3 weeks ago. Him, his mom, and the praise and worship team and the musicians. This was 3 weeks ago.
After the affair was somewhat put to a close.
Yeah, the affair been over. They stayed in touch. The wife stayed in touch with me, just to keep me hush hush.
Oh, okay.
That's what he was telling you about inviting me to breakfasts and stuff, text messages, her daughter, because only the first lady and her daughter knew. They didn't want to tell the son, the one who called me. So it was a secret from him. They agreed not to tell him, or not to tell anybody. So it was being a cover up from that day. So they stated, like, her daughter would be like, "Oh, happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, happy birthday," just like stuff just to keep me right there.
Mm-hmm. So it's sort of like
to
be friendly and to keep you kind of in
quiet.
the circle. Yeah.
Keep me quiet. Yep. And I was quiet for a long time, but I was just like over it, just.
So now the son
I'm over
had
it.
a situation where he went to prison, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So did
for
that
the
for
huh?
how long?
No, he was released. He only spent that one night in jail.
So the allegation, so he hasn't received time for that allegation because we
No,
had
they
heard.
dropped the charges because they said they couldn't prove it. That's all I know. He was charged, like it's public record, his mugshot and everything, but the charges was dropped because they couldn't prove it.
And he was accused of child molestation, correct?
Yeah, but he's been, he's been accused more than just that one time.
For the same thing. But this is the first time that somebody went through with, or where the law got involved.
Right. Everything
I
else was swept
ankle
under the rug.
monitor and all of that he.
Yeah, he did have on an ankle monitor, but when he went to court for it, they dropped the charges.
Okay. And that was with a child that's a member of the church as well.
Right, but no longer a member.
Right. Okay. But it was a member of the church when that.
Yeah, at that time. When crazy stuff happened, they leave. So she, that little boy, he's no longer there. They're all gonna stand together in it, They know that.
But a lot of times when the church is your life and your livelihood, you don't really have a whole lot of choice but to put on that face and kind of keep going. But
and that's their livelihood.
Yeah. But I just thought that it was interesting. I just kind of felt like, knowing his background, that he would have been the last person to.
Oh, he's bold to be the first person. But I said to him, I'm not deleting the post. I'm not deleting the post because you see, he never argued with me about it being false or that it being a lie, because they know their dad. They've already been through it before.
Right.
So he never said those words to me.
So when did you find out that you wasn't the only woman that Michael?
After I exposed him, then I got all these inboxes because people are saying, "Oh, she found out she wasn't the only one," but they ain't have nothing to do with it because I didn't know that until.
So what led
right
you?
now.
What led you to? So it was your husband finding or getting a hold of your phone, and then going to the wife, or his telling you to go to the wife. What led you to actually say, okay?
No, it was a conversation I had with his wife just a few weeks ago before I made the post. I actually called her and notified her that I was going to expose her husband. So I was supposed to did it, but that day she asked me not to. And this is why I still did.
What drove you to that point, April?
What she said on the phone, she was like, what did she say? She said, just come have a conversation with me. Let's talk about it. I would like for you not to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but on that moment, I told her, well, I can't sit and say to you that I'm not going to do, because I really feel like I'm just going to go along. Like, I know me, like I knew that I was going to do it. And I also told her, she was trying to make me feel like meeting with her, that would resolve how I've been feeling, or it would just be me meeting with her. It would just I would still be, under them, like still letting them stay in touch with me. Right. And so that's why I didn't do it. Cause I was like, I just really don't want to deal with it anymore. You guys are only talking to me so that I won't tell. So I just want to be like done with it. I don't want nothing else to do, respectfully to her. I wouldn't, cause we did this to her. So I wasn't jumping down her throat. I just don't want nothing else to do with it, because y'all really, like, you're sitting down with me only so that I won't tell. So that's why I went public.
But what made you want to tell? What made you, because this could have gone on and it could have remained private. What provoked you? What inside of your inner man said, you know what, I just can't remain quiet. I just can't go idly by with this.
Because she was on the phone with me and she was saying that she's going to bring her husband to apologize to me, because I told her that, he never owned any of this. He never took no accountability. Like, it was basically just looked like I did it. And that's how it started. Me and her having that conversation. And when we hung up the phone, that's how I knew. He's like, you know what? I'm done. She was like, I'm gonna bring my husband to talk to you. He's gonna apologize to you, and I was telling her, well, it's not gonna be genuine. It's not gonna be authentic. It's not gonna be real, because he's gonna curve his words because you're sitting there. He's not gonna say what he would really say had she not been sitting there. So I never felt like it would be genuine. And so that's why I didn't show up. So basically, I just didn't want anything else to do with it. Like, the whole conversation just turned me off. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to tell. And
So
now I'm over
did
it.
that sound, was that something that sounds rehearsed to me? So was that her modus operandi? Is that how she operated with his other affairs, or did all of these women kind of come forward after you came forward?
Well, I only know of one he did, and that was before I started going to his church. I mean, she has now came back and told me, but I already knew about that one.
Okay.
Yeah, and then all the other stories has came. But the girl is saying to me, that's how she acted with her too. The family don't believe you. They stop talking to you. They block you, and they stick with their dad. And I'm not mad at somebody for sticking with their dad, but just know that is the kind of stuff that he does. And he's still going to mount the pulpit, and he's still going to preach, because it is too much for him to say that this is real, that this is the truth, that what
But do
April
you
is
think
saying
he
is
has
correct.
any choice, because that's his
Huh?
livelihood, right? So he doesn't probably have much other choice, because that's his livelihood.
Right. And I didn't go public for him to lose his ministry. I did what I said, Y'all can do whatever y'all want to do with it. It's off of me now. Like, I don't care. It was always in my head, like, still thinking about it, still in contact with the people. If you're still in contact with them, you're going to still feel like you're right there with them. Like, I don't
And you still
want
have
to have nothing to do with them.
you still have some kind of obligation, right?
Right. I just don't want, I just want to be done. And I'm
Wow.
done.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have to worry about anybody messaging me. I'm blocked. I don't have to worry about no more meetups. Y'all just go ahead.
What is the climate like around town? Has it affected the ministry at all? Do you know? Have maybe
I don't
members?
live there. I don't live there.
You don't live in that same town anymore.
And I don't go searching. I'm blocked anyway. Like, I'm blocked from the church page.
So
All the
does
children.
that help you, being that you're separated and you're not in that city or in that vicinity of them like you once were?
Yep. And also not seeing them pop up on my news feed. Like, I don't want to see nothing from them. Like, no one has to share their church page to me. Like, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
I've already been a part of it long enough. Like, I already know what it is. I already know what they do. I know they're just going to dance over the mess that he does. I already know that. Like, you don't have to share that with me.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to dance over his affairs. That's just what they do. They danced over when the son got locked up. They danced over that. Like, they just dance over everything.
Mm. That's a lot. Like that whole kind of that whole family dynamic is something more, is something really deep there.
Well, what is it?
I don't know how to really put my finger on it, but it's something deeper there. You have a son that you have this this charismatic preacher, father, husband, that is extremely sexual. Seems like he had a relationship with you, and then what, about 3 or 4 other women that that was overlapping, intertwined. Then you have a son that's a predator, and allegedly, and that has been accused more than once, and with boys. So it makes me it makes me wonder, has he been touched, or was he touched, or what happened to him that would make him want to molest a young boy and molest the boy in the church. As we understand it, that sexual act, or that rape, he for the lack of a better word, administered that in the church. And how old was the boy again?
I believe he's 14.
Yeah,
I believe
that's what I thought. So I mean, so it's something. You know what I'm saying? It's something very serious and very psychological going on, where you have a grown son, you have a 14-year-old, and we're gonna have sex, or I'm going to sexually violate you in the sanctuary where my dad preaches. I mean, that's a lot. It's all of these layers are peeling back. So it's something that was going on. Somebody most likely did something to that son that introduced him to that diabolical behavior, that he is now acting on it and doing it to other people. And then for people to still be going there and still, like you said, dancing on it and operating and acting like, oh, okay, well, Jesus is gonna fix it, he's gonna do it, and and then that for that reason, that's why I am shocked. Even if he wanted to be the one to call, even if he wanted to be the one to be upset, that he would even have the courage to take on that position.
right.
That's
After
shocking.
all he's done.
Yeah, that's shocking to me. That's really. So so you have no idea what's going on with Michael now?
No. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm interested to know what that Sunday was like after the play.
Well, my crazy cousin went to church to be nosy, and she was like, "Oh yeah, they just danced the entire service." I'm like, "Duh!" Like, no one has to report back to me. I was there. That is what they do. They just gonna dance. They're gonna dance over everything. The son, the praise and worship leader, gonna get the microphone. He gonna say something that they're gonna heighten. Just
Wait a
something
minute,
normal,
the
but they're
son
gonna
is
heighten.
still doing praise and worship?
Oh, he's not gonna sit down. And I asked his dad. I didn't ask him. I asked him for somebody else. I was like, somebody said, "Why don't you sit your son down?" And I believe he didn't sit his son down because he's not gonna sit himself down either. But let me tell you his response to me. His response to me was, if I sit my son down, then I would have to sit the entire church down. That was his answer. That was his answer. That's what
So does that mean the entire church is
he
full of
said. There wouldn't
sexual
be a
predators?
ministry if he said there wouldn't be a ministry if I sat people down. That was his answer, and that's what I told the people that asked me to ask him that. Why do you? They don't want to know, why do you continue to let your son, do that, and he's gay, and then he has these allegations against him. So I just asked him, and that's what he said.
Instagram, can y'all still hear? I know sometimes when those calls come in, I don't know how somebody could be calling me.
And they see you online.
Everybody that should be my friend or care anything about me should already know that I'm on Instagram. Can y'all still hear? Fatima, can they still hear on Instagram?
I can hear you because I'm on Instagram on my other phone.
Oh, on the other phone. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
I just see this is why it's stories like yours. This is how this was birthed. This is how this is birthed, because these are as great of an institution that the Black church has been, as much as it's a part of our history and our heritage. And it was, you know, Black churches were stops on the Underground Railroad and what have you. But these are the kind of things, you two individuals are the kind of things that led me and provoked me to stand up and raise up a voice and say, wait a minute, it's some underlining things that is really going on, that is troubling, that has hurt a lot of people, that has damaged a lot of people, that has affected in really major ways folks' lives, that you know, that uh can probably in some aspects never really be prepared or repaired, because I'll say this sometimes, and I don't know if this is for you too, or if you all find yourselves, do you ever lie in bed and when you close your eyes, wonder what person you would have been?
Yeah.
Wonder how would life have been different had this not happened to me? Had I not experienced it? Not that it's anything wrong with you. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that by no means. But had I not experienced this unfortunate experience, had I not gone psychologically, emotionally, physically, just all of these, if I had not gone through this, if I had not experienced this, what would the trajectory of my life been?
Well, I have to say that I'm glad that I experienced this and went through it. I'm not saying I'm glad I cheated, but I'm glad that I got to see how the church operates and how something looks good and feels good and something is preaching to you and you're liking it, and just how quickly that can turn sexual. Then I also have learned that I will not confide in another pastor ever. It's everything is just like, I saw where I messed up.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't hate, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to use this church experience against other churches. I just not going to take the same steps that I did this time if I go to another ministry.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want to get close to the pastor. You don't need to have my number. I'm not telling you anything that went on with me. If I go to church, I'm just going to go and I'm going to leave. Like, I don't want it to ever be this again. Like, I don't trust them because I really thought I was talking to him. Like, I really thought he was like, and then to look back that it's over, it's like, well, was this
So
his
none of
tactic?
that was genuine, you think? All of it was leading to get
That's
you.
how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel after I come out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is this something that he does?
Is that because that how they responded, or is that just the feeling that you get?
That's the feeling I get from it. Being out of it, looking back. Because if it was truly just all about God and you wanted me to really grow in God, like you were saying, you would have never took that turn. I could have took the turn because nothing was saved or Christian about me anyways. So I was already the sinner. I'm looking to the person that is not supposed to be like me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad like that my eyes are open to like, just because you're a pastor, that don't really mean nothing. And just because you go to church, that don't mean nothing either. I've seen a lot, not just through the pastors, but the congregation too. They're all full of shit. The praise and worship leaders. I mean, it's just crazy. Like, I'm
Do
turned
you
off,
think
and
it
not
would have
because of
been
my fear.
do you think it would have been different if you were if you were not at an independent kind of a situation. That's why I've
Mm,
always gotten. That's why I've always
probably.
kind of think, these kind of standalone, off-brand situations where it's no control, it's no bishop, it's no, it's no checks and balances.
Right.
There's no one to go to, and then they say, well, Michael, you at least need to sit down for a period of time. I'm sure he's preached every Sunday straight through this, like you didn't exist, like ain't nothing
Right.
happened.
Mm-hmm.
Put on his face and continue to move on, just like your cousin said. They went on in there and they shouted, "You the devil, you
Yeah.
ain't no good."
Yeah. What they said was, he said, we're not going to let the enemy steal our joy. So I guess now I'm the enemy.
Yeah,
That's what he
when
said.
you was the
But
one, when you
that's the
was
things that
dessert,
they say.
when you was dessert, when you was getting ate up.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah. And that's the truth. So yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And that I had a conversation with him. I'm gonna let you go after this about that. And then like we would argue because when I had pushback, he made me feel like I couldn't have pushback because I would ask questions about his behavior because I'm like, you put the church on a consecration. I'm like, nigga, you not on no consecration.
Because
You make them turn their
it's not
phones
serious.
off.
It's not serious for him. It's not
It's
serious
it's
for
for
them. He's
show.
exempt. He's exempt from that.
Clearly.
He was exempt from it. Wow.
Yeah.
I I just find it fascinating. We're gonna have to probably have you back on because it's still like, as I'm thinking, it's still just more and more questions, and you
There could be
know
a part two.
yeah, because with the finding out of the other ladies, and then the other ladies and you all, because then I was thinking, I was looking at him, and I was looking at you all, and I said, now April's very attractive, but these others, I mean, it's almost as if he doesn't have a type.
That's what I picked up also. Sorry.
Yeah, it's sort of like, oh,
Okay, so
okay,
you don't have a type.
you don't have a type. You just, it's who is available,
Yeah, because the people
or
that
who you
messaged
can
me, I was like,
manipulate.
okay.
Yeah, because I was like, uh,
Well,
okay,
because he told me he did have a type. Clearly that wasn't
no,
true.
no, no.
No.
Vagina's the type.
Right.
But
You
now
getting
I
off.
said this, and I'm gonna ask you this, and I'm gonna let you
Look
go.
at Rashad.
Yeah, I know your Rashad is just like turning red, and his story is fascinating. I mean, I'm just like, this is incredible. This show tonight. Um, I the wife gives me lesbian vibes.
You are so crazy. You're not the
I
first person to say that. No, everybody asking is like, is she gay? Like, is she in on it? Is she doing this with him? I can tell you that the lady said to me
I
that she don't want to share
felt
her husband.
I just, yeah, I can see a little bit. And so
Well, he
I
said that to me a little bit. He was like, her name is Pamela. He was like, yep, I think Pam like girls a little bit.
oh, okay, well, she's a dyke. Okay.
That's
Yeah.
what he said to me now. Now the church family, they don't really know them, the real them.
Well, I mean, her and the son are twins. He's brunette and she's blonde.
You
I mean,
crazy.
they look exactly like the same person. The big glasses, the big oversized glasses, they sound alike. I mean, I've been through their videos, his vernacular, and yeah, and then that's why, because then I was just like, how are you? I,
I
it's a
get it.
lot. It's a lot because I was really looking at him, and see, that's the other part about this, is why we have to have these kind of discussions. And as difficult as these discussions are, because there is no status quo of look. I can see, if I saw him, I couldn't see him doing the bending. I couldn't see him in an aggressive mode of, as best to process it like that. I just could not, I would not envision him as moving in that vein. I just, so that was, and wow, I'm wondering how much did they spend? It must have spent a hunk and a chunk to be able to get him off, or for it not to be able, because I thought he had to be a registered sex offender. So I mean, it's just, it's so many dynamics. It's just, it's not, 2 hours is just not enough to really unpack it all, because it is so much. And I don't really, people, when we read these things and we read these kind of posts and you're looking at it and you're saying, okay, well, how did you get into this? And it's hard to explain how easily it happens. It's hard to explain. But when you have this person that's charismatic and they are standing up there with this, like, this power and authority and anointing and all of that, and then somehow you get singled out, made to wooed in, made to feel special, made to feel like you're a part of the inner crowd. And ooh, I'm going out with the bishop. Ooh, the bishop called my phone. Ooh, I'm a part of this inner clique, or the workings of it. It's a lot. But I know you, I know that the hour is far spent. So thank you for hanging out. Thank you, husband, for coming on, and you all sharing a piece of your life. I got to ask you this, and this is going to,
See how he said he was finished. You see, he's not finished.
But I'm just
he's
like
not finished.
I'm just like a preacher. I'm coming to my
You're
close.
right. Y'all always close it and never close.
And never close. This is the last thing. How difficult was it for you to go and worship or praise God under the same roof with the man that you were involved with and his wife and children, kind of being all in that same room? How did that feel? How did
he coached me through it, because I didn't know how to do it. I never did this before. He would talk to me. He's like, look, your you gotta like blend in. He's like, your body language and your mannerisms, and he coached me through it, how to stand there and receive prophecy and stuff like that. Like, he coached me through it, because I didn't know how to do it, and I still don't
So
feel
wait a
like
minute.
I did a
He
good
was
job.
still calling you out and prophesying to you? How?
Yeah. He said that he's used to it, and it's just, he said God is still God no matter what he do on the outside of church. I'm telling you, he used to say a whole bunch of stuff to me. Like, yeah, I was brainwashed. Yeah, I was.
But he knew what you looked like naked, so how could he prophesy to you?
He still did. They still have the videos. I got videos in my phone. Oh, yep. He still did. He still
You gotta
laid his
send
hand on
one of
my
the
head.
prophets. Well, do you think did they yet come to pass?
Yeah, his prophecies did come to pass. So that's why I was like stuck. Like, what? Like, you could do that? Like, it was crazy.
Yeah, this is another show.
Right.
This clearly, you all, this is another show.
Right. Yeah. We'll come back for part 2.
Yeah, we yeah. I listen. Yes. This is another show. April, I thank you. Appreciate it. Husband, appreciate it. Charles is the name, right? Charles, thank you, Charles. Thank you for sharing. Y'all, I wish y'all the best. I really do. I really do.
We good,
And
friends.
yeah, yeah. I get that. I get that. But I still want him to be all the way good. I want him to be
He probably will. You know, it just takes time.
it's gonna take some time. It's gonna
Right.
take it's gonna take some time. I wanted to talk to him because I wanted to vibe and feel his energy, and I really felt like, he spoke his heart and spoke from the heart. So um and I think that people needed to see and hear from him, and that no, it's not easy. It's not just no cake in the walk, and then to really also, because online, we can have some fun. Oh, well, he gay, yeah, and because I even was wondering, well, how was he processing or whatever? But no, he's definitely an alpha male. So this wasn't no cakewalk.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm very clear. No. This wasn't no cakewalk, and I'm sure you might have been sleeping with your eye open, let me
Yeah.
close to the
For real.
door.
Look, you used to be like, "Boo, you can come lay down." If I was gonna,
No,
do
no,
something,
I'm right.
I would
I'm good
already
on the
did
couch. I'm good on the couch. Wow. Well, I wish y'all the best. Thank y'all so much for coming and being on and being sincere and sharing. And whoa. So we'll definitely be Fatima. We'll definitely be having April back, because this is something. All
it. Okay,
right.
I'm gonna
All
drop
right,
down.
I appreciate you. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
All right,
bye.
Rashad. So, mom is a pastor. I am just. So, at what age did the abuse start? How old were you when things began to happen to you?
Like very young, we used to get whooped all the
We
time.
can't
Like,
hear you.
can you hear me now?
We,
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
can you all hear him? I can't hear him.
Can you hear me?
All right, let's see now.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, well, I'm gonna drop you off, and then you just click the link and come back in.
Okay.
I think that may do it. Whoa! Wow! Oh my gosh! The ways to give are up. It's 260 of you in the room. It's 260 of you in the room. Thank y'all so much for being here. I see Janice. I see Levon. I see a number of you all that are here. The ways to give are up. We were our offering led out tonight with $12. Is everyone can we're asking if everyone can match or do better than that 12. What an interesting show. What an interesting and incredible story and show on tonight. All right, Rashad.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Rashad,
Yes, can you hear me? I
we can't hear you.
I
Can
don't know
you
what's
all
going on.
hear him? I don't know why we can't hear you. I wonder what happened.
I don't know. Can you hear me now?
Okay, they can hear you. I can't hear you.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting. That happened one time before, Fatima. What did I have to do? for me to be able to hear. Okay, let me see. Okay, they're saying that they can hear you. I can't hear you for some reason. All right, let's see now.
I can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
I can't hear you. So what do I do? What do I need to? Okay, so everyone in the room can hear you. Okay, so I don't have nothing to put in my ear. I'm trying to figure out. I wonder why can't I hear you? What did I? Okay, let me see. Did I push something? Let me see. Do I need to?
They just don't want
Okay,
the
I'm
message
gonna
to be
mute
out there.
him, and then I'm gonna unmute. Okay, now say.
I can hear you still.
You can hear me.
Yeah.
I can't hear you. I don't know why I can't hear him anymore. I don't even know what to push. I don't even know. Okay, so y'all hear him. Okay, can hear you both, sir. Okay, hit my sound button. What is my sound? What is my sound button? Okay, let me see. I'm gonna knock you down again, Rashad, and bring you back. Okay.
Okay.
Because I can't hear him. Okay, what does it say? Remove. Okay, so can you all hear me? Can everyone hear me? All right, run it up. But y'all not sharing my live over here on TikTok. What is going on TikTok? Y'all not sending me no hearts. What is this? What is this about? I don't understand what's going on. Get it together. Okay, y'all can hear me. Thank you, chat. You all can hear me. Okay, let's add him to the stage. Okay. All right, now speak, my brother.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can. Oh, hey, Shando. Praise God. All right, I can hear you. So, at what age did you begin to know that it was something not right with your family and being a part of the first family?
It's like teenage, like preteens, like 12, 13, around that age.
12 or 13. You start. What was it? What kind of indications? What were the things or the signs that you picked up on?
We went through a lot of abuse, a lot of neglect. We lived with a lot of different people. We didn't really live with our mother a lot of times. Most of like a lot of my life, I lived with another pastor. She's a woman as well too. I lived with her most of my life, more than I did with my mother.
Okay, why wasn't your mother there?
I really can't even tell you that. I know everybody goes through things. I can't speak for her.
But she wasn't in jail or.
No, not at that time, no. But I lived with a different pastor. She was a pastor as well too. I lived with her. I lived with her most of my life, like all through high school as well too. And
Okay.
I also lived with my high school coach too at a point too.
Okay, so where was your father?
My father, he was in and out of jail basically. He was in jail for a long time.
Okay. Okay. And so at what age did your mom go into ministry, or was she always a minister or evangelist or preacher?
We got raised in the church basically. Since a young age, basically, we was always into the church basically.
Okay. Okay. So it was when you say that you said that you went from one number to a lower number. What did that mean? And what was those numbers again?
So I went from 95 to 13. I don't know if you know about the number 13. A lot of skeptical about that number. And
Mm-hmm.
basically it was a ritual my mother put me in, like basically against my will. And I was basically being sacrificed to the devil.
So what is the significance of 95? How was you at 95
No,
and you
so
dropped?
that was my original number basically. That was like for myself. And basically the number 13 basically was like making a change for like as far as spirituality. Like so basically I was basically crossing over basically, switching to the number 13.
How was you switching to the number 13? Like, I don't understand how you started out at 90. What does
And
that mean?
so
You
basically
started out at
it was basically
95.
like, a signal basically that basically I was going over to the dark side basically. And about numerology with the devil basically, they use numbers and things of that nature.
Okay. So who told you that you were a 95?
No, that was just my number I had basically basically when I transferred to the University of Missouri, basically I had the chance to go to the NFL basically. And, basically where, basically that's a basically higher stage basically. And, basically on that stage, a lot of people, become successful
So
with the devil.
95 was your number when you were playing ball.
Yeah, basically, and when I transferred there from another college, basically, and when I got on that bigger stage, basically, I transferred to that number, basically,
To 90 to 13.
13, yeah, and
So
basically, it was a ritual, basically, basically going, basically
so what
switching over
did
to
the ritual entail?
basically just going down the wrong way, becoming from, just becoming very demonic, basically, a lot of things has happened, a lot of around that time, a lot of things happened, that I really don't want to, talk about, but that's basically what happened. And my mother was involved in that behind the scenes. A lot of things has happened behind the scenes regarding, family members and myself in regarding, being involved with these people.
When you say, but some is so that you can share and explain to us what some of these rituals were.
Basically like, energy harvesting, basically being sacrificed to the devil, basically, you know, representing the devil, basically.
So what does that entail when you say energy harvesting? What is that?
Well,
You're
basically,
talking to a group that's like,
right. I get
you know
you.
what I mean, that
So
we're not
basically,
in any kind of knowledge.
so basically, like say if you have a great energy, basically, right? People that's involved in that, they basically want to steal it, basically, and they harvest people energy. Basically, they sacrifice people to the devil and things of that nature. And you know, I basically was a catalyst to basically becoming a devil worshiper, a Freemason, basically. And I didn't want to be part of that, become a part of that. It was because of who my family was and things of that nature. And I went through a lot of
So
things.
was your grandfather the worshipful master?
He was like the highest level of masonry, 33rd degrees.
Mm-hmm. And so what is your, because depending on who you ask, Masons can be, that could be a very positive thing. Or
That's very true. But with them being masons, I'm not a mason. You know, you
okay.
know, I'm not that. That's basically
Because
what was happening.
you have to be called in, right? You have to
Yeah,
be brought in.
like I told you, everybody, like my aunt sis was one, my grandmother, my mother, my aunt May, all of those people, they were in that, and I always tried to stay with God, and I got a basically a lot of offers to, basically
But
sell.
it's a lot of preachers that are Masons.
Yeah, and that's the cover up for who they really are. I got a lot of offers to basically sell my soul to the devil, and I didn't want to do that.
Who made that offer to you?
Uh, People I knew.
But okay, so what I'm trying to get at is that your mom is a Eastern Star,
Yeah, and
and
it's hidden basically. A lot of people don't know that about her.
mhm.
Yeah, so a lot of
So
people
now,
don't.
was she a worthy matron?
If you
Because
ask her,
I let me share this with you. I thought that there was some positive things because I have a good friend and she's an Eastern Star, and right now she is the worthy matron.
So what it is, if you get to a
chapter.
certain, right. So coming
He
into it,
raises a
basically,
lot of money for the community. They
very
put on
true.
those big crowns and
Hmm.
like wedding gowns, and they do these rituals. They sit in a circle or whatever. I don't know what all that they do at their meetings, but their meetings are they're lengthy and very involved.
Yeah, that's very true. But there's a
And the
level of it.
Eastern Stars can't meet without a Mason present, right?
That's what I was saying. My grandfather was a Mason, and my grandmother was an Eastern Star.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, on that level, basically as far as there's levels to it. So like the lower level people, they don't know what the higher level people really do.
Mm-hmm.
So there's levels to it. And
Now,
get to the answer.
don't the women have to ride a donkey or something?
So as for a lot of those things, that's what I'm telling you. Like, I was being like sacrificed. Like I pulled away from it. So I really don't know a lot of things of what they really do and what goes on.
And I thought that the men that they do everything to the man that they did to Jesus.
Basically, and I feel like a lot of things I've been through where, is equivalent to, basically being, for my love for the Lord, basically, being sacrificed for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you feel that some of these experiences from your mom perhaps has had a psychological and an emotional effect or toll on you?
In some aspects, yeah, as far as depression, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have support from my family. I'm doing a lot of things on my own, and when I was in college, I saw a lot of people who were supported by their family, and I wasn't.
Right. And so, well, what happened with your football career?
It went down the drain, basically. I had some things happening where, I just didn't make it. I wasn't, if I would have basically did certain things, I believe I would have made it. But I didn't fall through with a lot of things, basically.
Okay, so we have a comment here. It says, I call this gentleman the chair of my deacon board, and Deacon Myers is saying that what you are saying, or what you're talking about, isn't entirely wrong, but someone has fed him some devil mumbo jumbo, and he can't articulate it the way that he wants to.
That's very true, and I don't want to. And this is what I was saying to about. I spoke out about a lot of things that was going on, and
So are you afraid to share
very
the
very much so. Basically when I spoke out about a lot of this stuff, my other social media was hacked, my email was hacked. Um, right here, this is the paper. This is identity theft. My identity was stolen. They basically really tried to silence me, and I was very afraid about a lot of things. I didn't know what was going to happen to me, and you know, I just basically reached out for help, basically, and I want people to know if anything happens to me, why what really happened to me, wasn't what it looked like. And it's because I spoke out about people who basically is very demonic.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I do know a lot about it, but then again I don't, I'm not on that level of
I think there's a book that you should get.
what's it called?
The Pale White Horse.
Okay.
And in that book, you will discover, and it talks a lot about secret society and uh, and some of the rituals that go along with secret society. The,
Can I share this? So like these people that right. So I caught a case in 2021, and basically the case I caught, basically my mother gave me something to put in my shoe, basically, and I was released the next day. You know, so these people are on that type of level of spell work. You know what I'm saying? You know, things of that nature, and I know people who are police officers and things of that nature, and I was very, very afraid of, you know, what will happen to me if I spoke out against these people. And, you know, a lot of things that took place recently, and I just had to basically
Well,
let
so
people
what
know.
did she tell you to put in your shoe?
It came out of a hoodoo book. It was a page out of a hoodoo book, and I put it in my right shoe.
And what
And
did it cause to happen?
basically it was for me to get off the case, and that happened.
And so your mother helped you.
Basically,
So you felt that whatever she
and
told you to
it was
do.
it was demonic. It was very demonic.
Okay. Okay, there is your brother in the chat.
I don't know.
Can you see the chat?
I can't.
You can't see the chat? Okay. Does the brother of Rashad want to come up? Do you mind if we bring him up?
Not. I don't want to speak to any of them. You can talk to them on your own, but I don't want to talk to any of them.
Oh, okay. Okay, who is, I'm trying to see. Okay, Worship Boya.
That's my brother Raheem.
Okay. Now, do you mind if I read what he has said in the chat?
Sure.
Okay. Uh he says, "This is my baby brother. He is a documented schizophrenic
I've never been documented schizophrenic in my life.
who is not on his medicine. Can
And
we please stop entertaining him?"
and can I say something about him? So I have 2 college degrees, Sir William. I have 2 college degrees. That brother right there, he's documented basically mentally retarded. He has an IEP that states he's slow. He went to a school for disabled people, A. Harry Moore in rose up in Garwood, New Jersey, and he also rode the short bus as well. And like I told you, the family is basically a lot of people in the family is, you know, this is what I'm talking about. Like he wants people to basically shut me up. They don't want me to speak about what's going on in the family
Okay.
and basically slandering my name. Like I told you, I have never been diagnosed with a mental illness in my life.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying as far as the family, the problems in the family?
Well, I think that a lot of time I will say this. This is what I will say. This is what I will say. Um I think that there's a lot of mystery.
It is, and it's evolving. It's revolving around basically spirituality.
But I think it's a lot of mystery around secret societies.
It definitely is.
And so
It definitely is.
because, well, I'll share this with you. My heart's desire was to be a viper.
Okay.
Okay. The Kappas at Morehouse, that chapter was known as the Vipers. And to me, they were the ish on the campus.
Right. I went to
They
college, so I know
No,
about.
I'm not saying that you didn't. What I'm saying is for me coming up and through my Morehouse experience, even more so than the Alphas. Well, the Alphas had unalived somebody, so they were kicked off. But we had brothers that went to other yards to become Alphas. But the Kappas were it.
Right.
They were good looking. They had, amazing physiques. They had great cars. They dressed. And I wanted to be a Kappa. And that growing up Church of God in Christ,
Right.
depending upon who you ask or who you talk to, that could be a yay or a nay or a big no. And so I think that around and a part of our community and a part of a lot of it goes all the way back to Africa with the rituals and
It
the
definitely
things that
does.
you do and what have you. But at the same time, there was something at Morehouse called New Student Orientation.
Right.
That was very much ritualistic in some of the things that the freshman class went through. And I'm going to be very honest with you. As an alum, when Morehouse stopped or began to phase new student orientation out of the program or out of sort of, I don't want to say curriculum, but out of the experience of going through Morehouse, there's a distinct demarcation in the alums that you can tell that went through NSO and that you can tell that didn't.
Right. And this is what I'm saying.
I know I can look, just like I was there a couple of weeks ago for the induction of the folks, and I know the niggas that when the bell sounded when we were freshmen, I know the ones that when that bell in front of Robert Hall rang, I can tell as an alum.
Who's
the
who?
cats that ran from their dorm room and met on the yard to fight the brothers from Morris Brown and the brothers from Clark Atlanta. I know this thing. It is distinct. It's like
Very much.
like night and day. It's like we went to two different institutions. So I think that it's a lot of, because they're secret society, and they're just not germane to the Black community.
Can I say something?
At Yale, you got Skull and Bones. You have
Right.
you have fraternities within white organizations and institutions as well. So I think that it's always, and then you have the Pale White Horse that you can read. You have W.E.B. Du Bois, the Talented 10. You have something that is called the Sigma Pi Phi Grand Boule. Those were the upper echelon of the Black community. We have all of those. We got botillions and quintillions right now.
That's very true. But can I say, this is where my brother just came in, right? That's why this is what I'm trying to tell you. They're trying to silence me. You see how he said, can you please stop entertaining him? They don't want nobody to know what's really going on. It's very secretive. And like I told you, they basically slandered my name, like what he said. And and what you're saying is very, very true, about, basically the secret society. They want to keep it very, very hidden. And this is what I told you before he even said anything, that they slandered my name. And this is why I reached out to you.
Right. Well,
And so basically, basically he's corroborating what I already said to you.
Yeah, I understand.
And when you asked me, do I believe one of my brothers, my family members in the Masons, he's the one I'm talking about. He's definitely involved in that. He's definitely down with the devil as well.
Okay. So
And they don't want
what
nobody to
happened?
continue.
What Rashad? What happened with your football career?
Basically, I basically didn't make it. I had some issues going on. I didn't have support when I was playing, and I didn't make it. I had some things happen. That basically
Were you a lineman?
I was a defensive lineman. Yes. Basically
That was
my
that.
performance.
I'm a
I basically
sports fanatic, so I can look at you and tell. So
I play defensive tackle here. So a lot of things happen. And I was made to look like I was somebody else, and I wasn't. And it is all because of this secret stuff going on within my family. And they try to control the narrative of people, who really makes it and who doesn't make it. And like he said, can you please stop entertaining him? Like nobody wants to hear me out, about what I have. So you see that I have no support.
hmm well, you definitely have compassion here from me.
And
So, and I think that that you have a voice and that you deserve to be heard, and that something um something seems to have definitely
a
transpired.
lot, a lot of things transpire. Like I said, it's supposed to be my family, and they slander my name still. You
hmm
know, can we not listen to them? They don't want me to expose certain things that has happened within the family. They want me to keep it very
So
secretive.
why would you be uncomfortable with him coming up? I think
Be-
you all should talk.
I don't think so. Basically, they spin the narrative. It's what is their way or the highway, and we both have two different viewpoints of life, and he views it the way he views it, and I view it the way I view it. And
No, and that's to be respected, but I think that he could probably share or shed light on what it is that you are articulating and what you
they're gonna say I'm lying. They're gonna say that
Mhm.
everything I'm saying, like he said, I'm a schizophrenic. They're gonna say, I'm lying, and everything I'm saying is false.
But he could maybe explain why they have drawn that conclusion,
And,
or
and
why
it's
would
so funny. It's so funny, but basically, he has diagnosis on him. Like I said, like my family. Like when I
so that's
first
what
met
I'm
you,
saying. So that's why I think it would be great if you are, because you're safe.
I don't want to argue with anybody. What I'm saying, I don't want to. As far as my family, like I said, I drew the line between them, and I just wanted to speak out about the things that took place. That's it. I just wanted my voice to
Well,
be heard.
what
You could
really
bring them more,
is,
in another time. But as far as me, I don't want to speak to none of them. And you see my reaction towards them. Like I just
no,
it's
I don't want you to be offended, and if you're not
I'm
comfortable,
very offended by them. I'm gonna be very transparent on like the things that happen. Like I'm always the bad guy, the scapegoat. It's always me, and it's not. Him and my mother, all of them. They're involved into witchcraft, and my name has been slandered to so many people that I'm this, I'm that, and it's not me. It's not me. It's them.
right? Well, what I felt that really I wanted you on, and when you said, or when you messaged me that you were frightened
Very
for
much so.
for your life, and that um if something were to happen to you,
My family
that
did it to me.
you wanted your story out and to be known, and that in all of my years of doing this, I've never had anyone say something like that to me. So I wanted you to come on. I wanted you to share. I wanted
I
us to
understand.
see you. I wanted us to see you, so that in the event that, if unfortunately, something were to happen, that you had the opportunity to have a platform to speak and for you to be heard. And I think you deserve to be heard. And and it sounds like some very um uh traumatic things
And you can
happen
see
to
you
you.
can see something that's very good is going on within the family. You can see that.
Well, if he certainly is your family, I mean, to
But you
whatever.
see basically everything every time I have something to say, they basically try to do damage control. And I'm crazy and everything I have to say is basically like bullshit, basically. And
Mm,
like I was just telling you, the things that have happened in my life happened because of my family. Everything I've ever had, I lost it because of my family. Because of jealousy, because of demonic things of this nature. And by him commenting that, it just shows you that they're not sorry for the things that have happened. They want to keep it hush hush.
yeah, I get that. I would like for you. I wish that you felt more comfortable to explain how she attempted to sacrifice you. Uh,
So just recently when I basically said that basically she tried to unalive me where I was at her house and I passed out basically. I hit my head in the bathroom and my foot was on the door and the door started to be pushed. It was my mother. And I basically gained consciousness and I got up and she said, "Oh, I thought you was in there dead." This is what around the time where I was speaking about everything that happened and she told me that I knew too much.
mm,
And so basically, like after that, I left and I started to speak out on my other Instagram, and people started calling me crazy, and they wanted me to be quiet about what I was saying.
okay. So your brother is saying that I don't I will what I find alarming is that um I don't I don't want him to feel like you're being taken advantage of. He's saying that you're schizophrenic and that you're not on your medication.
I never been prescribed schizophrenia medicine. I've never been diagnosed as a schizophrenic at all. And I told you these things. They basically called me crazy. I told you this when I DM'd you, and I
Well,
told you
when you messaged me,
I,
yes.
I did. And,
So
and look,
he already informed me that you all felt that way. So,
and this is what he's doing again. And the audacity of him. He has an IEP that states he's mentally retarded.
mm,
All these things, like I said, the family has a bunch of issues, and for him, out of all people to be talking, it's very, very, it is outlandish for real, for real.
mhm.
And so basically,
So
this is
I
public.
mean, yeah, I can tell that he's definitely going through something, but I think that also I think that he's very, for whatever reason, um,
I'm not going through anything, to be honest. I basically just I'm tired of my family, and I spoke out about who they really are. And like you asked me, do I have a brother, any siblings that are involved in that? And he's basically defending himself. That's all he's doing. And I just wanted to, let people know that basically, like I told you before, if something happened, would happen to me, it's these individuals.
mhm,
And
yeah,
they tried to make me out to be something I'm not. Like he's saying, I'm not on my medicine. I've never had medicine for schizophrenia ever. And this is why I reached out to you because they're trying to, like I said, she tried to get me locked in the psychiatric unit. Basically they all came together and they basically said I'm out of my mind, basically things like of that nature. Basically because I started speaking about who they were as people.
okay, all right. I am now and this is no slight to you, Rashad. This is no slight to you. We had to stop the TikTok live
It's all right. I,
because
th- I, I appreciate you though. I thank you so much for
no, no,
hearing
no,
me out thus far.
let me just hear me out. The only reason that I want us to be careful is because we want to be careful about the words choice that we use. This
Of
is
course, of
social
course, of
media,
course,
and there's certain words and certain trigger words that we cannot use.
of course.
So we have to make sure that we don't say the K word, we
Very
don't
much so.
say the M word, we don't say those kind of, we have to say things like unalive, we have to describe things like that. I was very concerned, so, and I wanted you to be able to express
Excuse me.
yourself and your side, and your story.
Very true.
And so that's what that's where my heart was, and that's where I feel because I do know that there's some things that happens a lot of times in families, and especially within church. And I really do feel prophetically that there's some deeper things that really transpired with you.
It has. But I was just
That
basically
you're
when
not
I
willing,
reached out to you,
but you're not at this time, that you don't want to share.
it
And
just but by my brother coming on, I just I'm not gonna say I want like he messed my mood up, but basically this is what I'm saying. A lot of things happened in my life where I wasn't basically able to be myself basically because of these people worship the devil, and I'm gonna keep saying it. It's a lot of things that took place in my life.
yeah,
And they're still slandering my name, saying I'm a schizophrenic, all types of things like that. I'm not.
yeah, yeah. Well, I hope that we can stay in touch, and that we certainly that you certainly have a platform here. You
Thank
certainly
you.
have a way to voice here, and y'all, we're gonna keep him covered. We're gonna keep Rashad covered in prayer, because something, um, and maybe we will have your brother on separate from you, of course.
Well,
But something has transpired.
it has. It happened from the parental unit. It happened from my family unit, and I was a target basically.
Yeah. So, um, I my heart. I'm concerned. I'm definitely concerned
More
because things.
me as well too. That's why I reached out to you.
Yeah.
My family has a lot of issues that they do not want to talk about, and it's always me. I'm the problem, and that's not it.
Mm-hmm.
And, I wish I could at this point, I wish I could really go into it, but right now, what's being going on, I'm just not in the mood right now.
I understand.
I wasn't expecting him to come do nothing like that, and this is what I told you.
Right. Right. Well, I don't want you to, but long as they don't know where you are, and that you're physically safe, and that you feel safe, and what have you, I want you to be able to have peace with that. And I wouldn't disrespect you and bring him on, and you're not comfortable with him coming on. So that won't happen.
Thank you.
Yeah. But we're gonna stay in touch, and you definitely and we definitely gonna keep you covered and lifted in prayer. And then
I appreciate that.
you keep in touch with me and let me know that you are safe, and that you're in a place, and that are um getting whatever, or have access to the necessities and things of life that you need, so that you can be okay.
I'm right now. I'm fine. Basically, as far as me, I just have an issue with my family, and I just spoke out about them. And they're upset that I'm speaking about them.
Yeah.
That's about it.
And if you can get in touch with Terrell, because I did try to reach out and try to find him, but I was not successful. But if you can get in touch with him, because I would be interested in. I mean, I know him, so I would be definitely interested in hearing what he has to say.
Definitely. I bet I'm pretty sure that he will tell you some of the same things I'm telling you.
Yeah, yeah, I
Pretty
would.
sure.
I would definitely like to hear that. Okay, but thank you for being with us. Thank you, and
Appreciate
thank
you.
you
Thank
for
you.
for your courage to share. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Nice to meet you as well.
Good meeting you. Absolutely. Absolutely. We're gonna keep you lifted. We
Thank you.
definitely keep you lifted. All right. You enjoy. Make sure you that you keep in touch with me.
I definitely will. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me wow. Wowie kazowie. So it's that's a lot. I I my heart feels heavy. My heart feels heavy. My heart goes out to him. I know that you all, a lot of you were something has happened, you all. Something has Deacon Myers, something has happened and something has definitely transpired that is that was traumatic. All right, so brother, do you want to come up and shed maybe some light or your side or what is going on? Okay, we have some people in the chat. Let's see this. Who says, I am a PK. My father has painted a false narrative of my mental health to discredit me. Unfortunately for me, many folks that he spun this narrative to took the time to get to know me and found it was untrue. All right. I see you. You said you're saying hello. Hello. How are you? All right, Deacon. There's definitely some psychosis there. Deacon Myers, I agree that there's definitely something that is going on. Something has happened. Something has definitely happened, and so I'm going to now that he's gone and comfortable, I'm going to put the link in the chat to see just what the brother has to say. So, but a lot does go on with church. A lot goes on with the church. A lot goes on with church families. A lot goes on. A lot of people don't understand. And I guess that may be why they secret societies. That might be it. That might be the purpose for it, for people not to know and understand it. Then we have seen people that have denounced. I put the link in the chat, sir. You see the link is in the chat. You see me in the red down in the chat. But there's a cry and there's a plea for help. And so there's something but he's yet causing it enough to yet be able to reach out. Okay, so worship. The link is in the chat just above your last comment where you said send the link. All right. All right, everyone. Now how we doing on likes? There's 254 of you in the chat. Can we Fatima, how are we doing on likes? I think we only had 54 at one point. If we can get those likes up, can everyone hit the like button that is on YouTube and Facebook? Can you hit the like button, the share button? Can you hit the like button and the share button? Can we get those likes up? Okay, I don't know why you don't see the link. you should see my comment, and you should see the link in the comment. My comment, if you're reading the chat, it says, Sir William, you're on YouTube, and I put the chat in YouTube as well. So I am not sure. Can everybody else see the link? Janice, can you see the link? Can you see my comment? I'll do it again. Can you all see my my comment and the link? Okay, Deacon Myers can see the link. Deacon Myers can see the link. So not sure. Okay, A. Jones sees the link. Tequila Tucker sees the link. Everyone sees the link except you, sir. I'm not sure why you don't see it. All right, Instagram. Okay, do we have any others that will join us with that with the $12 love offering on tonight? The offering led off with $12. We always ask for whatever the lead is that you all would give in support. If you would do that or match that or do better, that would be great. Okay, you're clicking the link and it's not working. Maybe you need to copy the link and paste it in your browser. All right, thank you, Janice Felton. Thank you, $15. $15. Thank you so much. She says great interviews. Thank you. All right, they're saying for you to copy and paste it in your browser. Okay. All right, someone chosen says you can be educated and still struggle with your mental health. In fact, schizophrenia are some of them. Intelligent happens to some of those intelligent humans. Wow. I was picking up something else. And I'm not sure if this is really his brother or who this is, but I was picking up something else, and I don't really want to. I don't want to dive into it if we're going to hear from the brother. I'm going to if this is not his brother, or because y'all know I get skeptical of people real quick. So if this is not the brother, if this is a troll, then I'm going to eventually tell you what I really believe may have transpired. And we see that a lot of times with victims and victims of abuse. But I don't want to speak too soon if this is in fact a brother. Thank y'all. Can y'all run me up over on TikTok? I hate that we're starting all over from the beginning or from the fresh. Okay, so I guess he'll probably doesn't know what the well, maybe not. Well, yeah, and you know what? I didn't even think about that. He said, I can't say that word, but he said that there were some issues with this brother as well. So perhaps maybe what he is saying is true, and that's why A. John says don't do it. I am going to tell y'all, does my teeth look whiter tonight than they have in the past? I got some of that teeth whitening serum, that purple stuff on TikTok. Thank you, Deacon Myers. Oh, you all, let's, Deacon Myers, do you want to come up and talk about your campaign, please? I know it's impromptu. The chairman of my deacon board is running for, in his city, he is running for school board. And he is very kind and a great support to me. And I appreciate him greatly. We are excited about his candidacy and standing with him in prayer. And you all, I think what I want to do, Deacon Myers, I think what I want to do is do a show with you and have you on, and we have a virtual fundraiser, and we'll plan that out. You all, what y'all think about that? This is he's going to run, and you all know campaigns are very expensive. And so we are standing with him in prayer and going to believe he's going to get this seat. He's working on his doctorate, and he's a good man and good brother. And I want to see him win. I want to see him win and get on that school board down there in Jacksonville, Florida. All right. Yes, sir. Yes, Booyah. Yes, I would love that we will have you on, and maybe we can get Bishop Jordan on and have a virtual fundraising event. Doesn't that sound good? We have a virtual, we'll plan that. And what we'll do, we'll probably, what, Deacon Myers, you can let me know when your next disclosure is due. We always do big hits. You always do that big hit just before your next disclosure is due to the finance chairs for the campaign. Okay, so you don't know how to click the link. Yeah. Okay. Or you don't know how to copy and paste the link in the browser. Okay. So, all right, y'all. Well, y'all see, there we have it. All right. Okay, we got somebody who wants to join us over. Marquise, I think that there's some things that definitely have definitely transpired. I really do. I really do. And it's unfortunate, and it's had a very, 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 it's taken a very serious toll on them. Hey, Selena. All right, everybody on TikTok, follow me. Everybody on TikTok, like the live, share the live. Yeah, Marquise, is definitely. Can everyone in the chat on YouTube and Facebook, can you all see the link? Is everyone seeing the link? Because I don't understand why this young man cannot. Okay, so you have to put your finger on that link and highlight it. It's going to more than likely turn blue. Okay? And then you'll see some little bubbles that'll come up, and it'll say copy. It'll say copy. It'll say cut. It'll say something else. You want to click copy. Then you want to go to where you go on your phone to get on the internet. Now, if you can spell schizophrenia, and schizophrenia is a hard word to spell, if you can spell that and put that in the chat box, you should know how to click a link. Amen. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just talking straight, right? I don't hear nobody. Am I talking right? Am I teaching good? Okay. All right. There we have it. Okay. So here's the brother. Yes, sir.
Yes, like Sir Williams, my brother is
Can you hear
schizophrenic.
me?
Can you hear me?
Okay, I can't hear you. Can you all hear him? Can you all hear him?
Can you hear me?
Okay. Try it again.
I'm talking. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you. I'm gonna remove you and see if it, and we'll see if it adds again. Okay. All right, there you are. How are you?
Good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yes, sir.
Yes. So that's my blood brother. He is a documented schizophrenic who is not on his medicine, and like like he like if you can tell how he's talking, all he talks about is like demonic stuff and witchcraft. All these people that are Masons are dead people that he has not met. Like he's out of his mind. There's nothing wrong with him. He's an educated boy who played football, and his football career didn't go where he wanted to. He lost his mind. My mother had to come to college because he was in the water throwing rocks at white people. He's out of his mind. So I just like really would appreciate it if you cannot like put him on here. He's having manic episodes. Like, and if
What?
you have discernment, you can tell something is wrong with him. Like
Um, but
all
I.
this stuff that he's speaking of is fake stuff. It's
Mhm.
not real. It's not real whatsoever. He stopped talking to us, but all this stuff about my mom being a witch and a warlock, all this stuff is not true. My mother's a holy.
What happened with your mom and Terrell Turner?
There's nothing that happened. She's no longer a member of his church. That's all that happened. She's not a member of his church no more. He's manic, and you're
Mhm.
entertaining someone who's sick.
Well, I mean, he seemed cosmic to me.
No,
Would y'all?
it's something really. If you can look, if you have discernment, if you can look, there's something wrong with
I
him.
well, I mean, I certainly see and pick that up, but also
Oh,
I see.
I'm just making sure that
Well,
you
no,
pick that up
there's
and
some
acknowledge
signs,
that.
but there's some signs that there's some abuse and some things that contributed to your brother being in the state that he's in. So
He's in the
that.
state that he's in because it's his of himself. You're talking to someone that is showing you one side. He is a criminal. He has charges on him for domestic violence, beating people up and different stuff. He's crazy. He's not on his medicine. He's documented. He has been in psych wards. But for him coming on here saying things about my mother, who's a holy woman of God, no, that's not. I'm not gonna let that happen at all. And the reason why you don't think he want to stay here and talk to me? Because this is what he's documented. So please, can you stop? Like you can interview him and stuff, but when he talk about my mother, can you please stop that? Like, come on, please. Like, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. We
Well,
haven't spoken to him in over
that's
a
what.
year. You
No,
can
but
talk,
I
you could do
mean,
your show, you could do whatever,
no,
but as
I
far as
understand that,
talking to my mother,
but you have to understand. He wrote a very in-depth message that I think if you saw that and if you had any level of platform, that it was alarming, it was concerning, and from the vantage point where I sit and I know people that have experienced things being a part of being a PK and just a part of church. It sounded highly likely.
I mean, well,
And
people post pictures of you and say accusations of you, and it could be highly likely, but do we believe, we choose to believe it or don't believe it,
well,
right?
no, I mean, people post pictures of
Right.
say things or what have you. But when you say that you're from a family and that you have been abused, and that you want to have a platform to share your story of what is going on with you or what has transpired with you, then that is something very, very different. But I'm not going to tolerate, I understand that you're upset, and I respect that you're upset, but I'm not going to be disrespected on my
No,
own platform.
but no one's disrespecting
I'm
you. But I said what I said. People posted videos of you with your ass tooted up, and you denied it, right? So don't. When it comes to my mother, he's manic, he's schizophrenic, he's documented. Do
okay.
not
So
put him
what
on your. Do not put him on your
what we can
on your
do,
thing.
what we
Don't put
can
him on your
do,
thing. It's very simple. It's
what
very
what
simple.
what we can do is we can
It's
have
not, we can do
mom.
nothing. I'm
No,
just telling
we
you,
can.
when it comes to my mother, do
Well,
not
your
have him
mom can
on the
come on.
platform.
Your
Excuse,
mom
no,
can
my
come.
mom's not going to come on. She's not going to come
Okay.
on. For what?
Okay.
For what?
Well,
For
your
what?
her son is saying that some things that she subject him to were abusive. So
Okay, and these are lies. This
he made
person
that.
is a psych patient, and you're
Well, he made that.
entertaining him, and
And he made,
you're entertaining him.
oh, okay, but that's
And
your
if you
word.
like, come on, you can tell something is wrong with him. He keeps on talking about witchcraft and masons. He doesn't know anything about masons. Like, come on,
Well,
come
but
on.
you have, but now what is
He
in
knows nothing. Everything is spell work and
excuse
witchcraft,
me,
and you're
but
entertaining it, and you know it's something wrong
what
with him. Come
well
on,
no,
come
well
on.
what we have right now, you have had probably almost 60 noted women that were a part of the Divine Nine that have come on
Sweetie,
and come
we're
out
no baby.
and
We're
that have come
holiness. We're
out.
holiness over here.
No,
We're
what I'm
holiness over
saying
here.
is you have
None of
people that
that.
are
None of
part of
that.
the
None of that.
Divine Nine,
None of
um,
that stuff that he's speaking
far
about. We know
as
of. We're
far
holiness
as
over
you've
here.
had
We're
Deltas,
holiness over
you
here,
have
and you're
had
trying to spin a story
AKAs.
on your
I'm not
platform
trying to
with
spin
only 200
anything.
people. Sir
No,
Williams, you
I'm not.
see something is wrong with that boy, and you're entertaining him, and you think that's okay?
What I did
You
when
see something is wrong with him.
he stutters, he
You
has.
see something is wrong with him, and you're entertaining him, and
I
you
let
feel
him
okay with that.
speak. I let him speak. Yeah, I let him speak.
And you see, because what, he's nice looking, you entertain him. Like, come on.
It's no, it's not because he was nice
Come
looking.
on,
I
come on,
never said
sis. Come on,
not
sister.
about
Come on,
not
stop it. You
not
need to
about
stop it.
that. No,
You need to
no, no,
stop
no,
it.
no, no.
You need to
What I
stop it.
what
You
I
too grown for that. You too grown for that.
what I'm gonna do now, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna let you go. Because
Yeah,
what I'm
please, because
not
I
going
will
to
read the fuck out you with your fried
what I'm
ass
not
frontal. You
gonna
look a
do,
mess. You
what
look.
I'm not gonna do is not gonna allow you to disrespect me. Now I want him to come on and share and enlighten about whatever was going on with his brother. But no, he can say, look a mess, you look a mess, freckle face. I wanted you to come on and share. Something has happened to something in your household. Now, you got a brother that's over here that is going through whatever it is that he's going through. And then you is going through whatever it is that you're going through. Because one minute you want to look like a lumberjack, and then you want the girl to come out. So I want, and then you want to start being insulting. No, I'm not on for that. The guy has said that his mother subject him to some abusive things that really seems to be true. And it has seriously affected him. What y'all say? There is no documented proof. Yeah, I mean, just saying that he's documented is absolutely ridiculous. Because I mean, where would that documentation be? Absolutely right. Nothing wrong with letting Rashad speak. I don't think so either. I don't think so either. He wrote a very lucid and very detailed message. Um, and definitely was concerned for his safety. I told you he was. Angel says, I told you that he was slow before you let him on. Oh my word. Mother Felton says, bye, worship boy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was it. No read here. No read is gone. No read. And I didn't want to disrespect him. And I understand that he's probably very compassionate about his mom. I love my mother dearly too, and very compassionate about my mother. About my mother. But I wanted to get his side of the story. Does that make sense? There's always two sides. There's always two sides. So I wanted to give him the opportunity to speak, but because he's kind of passionate about, but something definitely happened to Rashad. Something definitely happened to Rashad, and something definitely happened within that household. Now I'm gonna tell you, Fatima, who we got to talk to now, and especially the way this boy came up here and acted a fool. And what one thing that is definitely clear. One thing is definitely clear. I thought that was so funny that he brought up the pink dildo picture. I guess I ain't gonna ever live that down. That was definitely not me. And if you ever look at those hands and look at my hands, that was definitely I mean. Now I do have some pictures, but that picture, and my full face is on my picture, but that picture is definitely not me. That was a picture that was created by Verlon DeMarcus Lofton and uh oh my gosh, what's that little, it was a bastard guy. They said his mama had a baby by a bishop. Dustin Clarida. They made, because I did 2 stories on both of them, and they made that fake picture, and then it has no face in the picture. So, sir, I'm glad that you saw it and that that it pleased you and enjoyed it. And like you said, you think your mama's holy. She's holy enough. She's got one son that's had some kind of mental episode, and then she got another son that's a full out queen. Looks like a boy, walks like one, but ain't one. All right. Yes, Dustin Clarida. So they made that picture. But I even went before the general board and told them, I said, I'm always in, and if I could do it here, I would definitely stand and show you my backside and show you that is not mine. in fact, Fatima, that booty was not big enough to be my booty. if y'all really want to know the truth, if they really want to know the truth, those cakes was not as big as Sir William's cakes. Let's be right. So no, it's not clear that I don't think it was clear. Uh-oh. Okay. All right. All right, when we go to getting those warnings over on we stop when we get those warnings on TikTok. We ain't gonna be off. We ain't gonna stop our money now. We ain't gonna say that it's gonna stop our money. All right, Facebook and Instagram, the ways to give are. Do we have any other people that will give to Tequila? Tucker, you haven't been with me in a while, baby. I need you to drop an offering. Some of my other people that were faithful and long time, y'all can come on and share. What I was saying before we allowed the emotional brother to come up is that I just wanted to say, so do I look a mess, Fatima? I thought I looked kind of cute with my my Louis Vuitton. Okay, kindergarten. All right. Keith Garvin Howe, Pastor Althea Brandon is no longer connected to Prophet Turner. I am her current and active pastor and covering. I stand in full support and solidarity of her. The young man posted several messages on our church page full of inconsistencies and slander from fake pages calling himself Melchizedek and not even his real name. You can't throw rocks and hide your hand. Why did he not pursue legal counsel? What was accomplished by these means? So I know a lot of people. And Pastor Keith Garvin, you're more than welcome. You can click the link and come up. I know a lot of people that have been abused by family members and have not taken legal action against their family. So I will say that, not to say that I need to defend him. What was definitely intriguing about his message is that he said that he was definitely mistreated, definitely abused, and definitely exposed to some things within his childhood that was not good. And that his when he began to speak out about it when he became a teenager, then that's when the family began to retaliate against him. And so, but I think that some of the things that he was exposed to probably has had a very serious psychological and emotional, taken a serious psychological and emotional toll on him. And so to say that, yes, I mean, when people have been abused, they go through things, they respond in different ways. Has he probably had some kind of mental break or a nervous breakdown or a psychotic break or what have you? If I experienced some of the things that he shared in his DMs that he experienced in his childhood, I probably would have too. So that was what the purpose of bringing him on. Now, if you'd like to come on and shed light, you're more than welcome as well. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, are there, again, just before we close, y'all, we have been on for a while. Just before we close out, are there any more likes? How we're doing on our likes? All right, how we doing on our likes, Fatima? Okay, we got 111 likes All right, can we get maybe 20 more likes before we get off? Can we get 20 more likes? All right. Anyone else with the love offering? We led out tonight with $12, asking everybody to do the 12 or better. If you can match that 12 or better, we will definitely appreciate it. Thank you for the 111 likes. All right. Is there anyone else? Thank y'all for hanging out tonight. I thought tonight was really, really good, don't you? I guess that'll probably probably, y'all know when we have these guests, they get emotional. I want people, and especially Black people, I want us to be able to have intelligent conversation. I want us to take our emotions out of stuff, and to be able to have an intelligent conversation. So, and not get all wrapped up and emotional. Yes, we got a lot of topics to discuss. We have had so many interesting things that have happened. We've got 10 members. I know it was 3 this week, but I think a total of 10 members of Congress that have resigned. We have the first Black lieutenant governor of Virginia that unalived his wife and himself. We have a lot that is going on. We have a lot that is going on in church as well as outside of church. Y'all, we heard a rumor from a golfing buddy of Patrick Wooden that he might have a side girlfriend, child. They said that he couldn't even play golf. He was recently out with a family and in-law of his wife. And they was playing golf, and during the time that they was playing golf, that about 40 or 50 calls came in from a woman named Katrina. So we trying to find out who is Katrina. Who is Hurricane Katrina? We are trying to find out. So it is definitely some stuff that is going on that we have got to discuss. And so it is juicy. So we'll definitely come back. What else happened? Oh, the Devil Wears Prada. The NBA playoffs. I missed the game tonight. Got a game tomorrow here at home that we'll be covering. Gonna be glad to be there. Thank you. Somebody said I got a pretty smile. I got some of that purple stuff. And I'm telling you, I look a mess. I can't get over that with the big old pork chop sideburns and that freckle face. Now you came on here to talk about your brother, And your brother acted like he had more sense than you. Am I talking right? Am I talking right? The schizophrenic brother knew how to click the link. It didn't take him 30 minutes. And you saying your brother got a problem. Hello. I don't hear nobody. I don't hear nobody. Oh, my watch is dead. Y'all, I finally got an Apple Watch. Well, I've had Apple Watches before, but I never knew how to work them. But I finally got I finally halfway got an Apple Watch and know how to I think I know how to work it. I think I do. Nah, it's done died while the show was going on. All right, y'all. So Janice Felton. Yeah, am I talking right, love? Am I talking? Let me see if my watch gonna come back home. Evia Shanaba. Oh, but I think that's what that is. She said, "Look at him." I told Mother Francis Kelly. I told her, I say, "Get up off that woman." She was leaning all on her adjutant, acting like she could walk. I said, "Happy birthday." She said, "This is what 92 looked like." I said, "You ain't got to lean on her." I said, "It ain't nothing wrong with you." I said, "It ain't nothing wrong with you." I said, "It's you too mean for nothing." She said, "Just look at her." She said, "I just love them. I just love her." I said, "I love her too. I love Mother Francis Kelly." All right. Anyway, thank you. Somebody said, "I look amazing." Thank you. It doesn't even faze me. Let me tell you something. I love me some Sir William, but I am going to, I do want to do, y'all, I love plastic surgery. I think I'm addicted to plastic surgery the way people are addicted to tattoos. I really, I do. I do. I think I am. I think I am. I think I am addicted. I want to do a couple of little things, just a little here and there. All right, Janice, how we doing on our likes? It says here, here to intelligent, insightful discussions. I'm proud, long time member of Order of the Eastern. All right, Delta Sigma thing. Oh, I think that and I shared that with him. I think there's a lot of misconception around secret societies, fraternities, and sororities, and because they are thank you, because they are, that a lot of people just don't understand. A lot of people don't understand, and they don't understand the ritual, and they don't understand that, the pledging process. And so sometimes it can get misconstrued. And then I think also sometimes that people that have pledged and that are Greek or that are members of secret societies, and then they have encountered, everyone. What I love about the Bible says, work out your soul salvation with fear and trembling. You can't work out my soul salvation. I got to work it out. I've got to work out my own soul salvation. You can't do that for me. You can't. You may want to, but you can't work it out. People have to work out their own soul salvation. And so in doing so, that may mean for you because of your scope and because of your idea of the deity and the Godhead, what may be a stumbling block for you may not be a stumbling block for me. So you may need to denounce your fraternity, or you may need to denounce your sorority for you to be saved. But that doesn't mean that I have to. That doesn't mean that Deacon Earl has to. That doesn't mean that. That's what you got to do for you to feel that you are saved. For you to feel that you are in the place that you need to be with your God. So, but I may not need to denounce. So you know, some people have problems with William Murphy being and you know that what's the girl's name, whoever it is, the Tiffany person or whatever that stands, and you know, she makes a lot of radical claims. You know, she says a lot of things and makes a lot of radical claims. And I don't know of any of them that has happened yet. I don't know any of them that has happened yet. She talked about Beyonce. She talked about William Murphy. But those are people, and we are people, and we're having a human experience. And so, what's her name? Tiffany Montgomery. She said a lot of stuff. Okay. And so that's what you have to do. As I was saying to him, I wanted to be a Kappa. I wanted to be a Viper. I had my heart set on being a Viper. I did. And they got kicked off for hazing. Yep. Yep. They got kicked off. So he came over on Instagram. So I don't know, y'all. Let me tell y'all something. And I don't even know why I find it necessary, because I'ma just say this. If it ain't the real thing, Sir William don't want it. Now, Earl, you've seen me in person. And I know Deaconess Earl is saved, and she'll be honest. She saw me in Memphis live and in living color. My stuff ain't fake, is it, Deaconess Earl? My stuff is not fake. And I want to say, or what I will say is this, that just in the mere fact, the way that the brother is acting and the way that he's going so hard, and he's not even making it about the brother and being concerned about the brother, I'm inclined, based upon his behavior, to believe Rashad even the more. Is anybody else with me on that? Now, you go from YouTube all the way over to Instagram to, we're talking about your mom. We're talking about your family. Your brother has come on, and now you want to attack and try to insult me for having a personal. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something. Let me just say this to you. Had that guy, and just because of the nature of Rashad's DM to me and how in depth he went, I'm gonna just be very frank with y'all. Do you all know that I would not have been able to live with myself, just hypothetically speaking, if something unfortunate were to happen to that young man and he had reached out to me, and he had reached, I'm trying to figure out what that was, and he had reached out to me and I ignored it. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I let me just say it like this. I don't want to appear to be like super deep or whatever. I really don't want to give that appearance because we human beings. But I felt like, and y'all hear me when I say this, a person like me on Instagram got all these different followers, all these different platforms, right? You have, just like April was saying, you have your messages from people that follow you, and then you have your messages that go into that request box. For whatever reason, the Holy Ghost allowed me to go to that request box, which is something I hardly ever do, and scrolling through, read like about 5 or 6 from the top, and one of them was his message. Now, I didn't take that for granted. I'm saying, you know what? I don't even normally come over here. I don't normally even come over. Yeah, now that's how I felt. I said, this must have been the Lord for me to see this, because I don't really even come into those request boxes, because those request boxes, especially on Instagram and especially on TikTok, can get real, risque. So I don't even go over there. And I went over there and I saw that boy's message, and then he's trying to defame, sir. Let me say this to y'all. If y'all knew what my inbox looked like, if y'all knew the texts that I get, I'm saved because I want to be saved. Now, I used to be saved because I had very limited choices to be saved. Can I just go on, Sean? Can I go on and explain it? But I got in this phone about 10, not just 5. It used to just be 5. I got about 10 in that phone right there, right now, that want it right now, tonight. Okay? Over here on this phone, it's probably a good 6 or 7. That's the new phone. That's the backline phone. That's the phone that Fatima know about. There's somebody. So, you know, they can call me with Beetlejuice or ugly. They can say whatever. Okay. I'll be like me. I, I'm ugly. I. Just because you built like a cardboard box. Maybe even when I was big, even at 400 pounds, I still had some courage. So anyway, enough being said of that. And I can understand. I'm a mama's boy. I love my mother. I really do. I really, really do. And so I'm sure, but that's your brother. I didn't say nothing negative about your mother. I don't know your mother to say anything. I said she's invited up to say whatever is going on with her son. I'm not, you know, I'm not saying nothing about her. He said and expressed, but let me say this. As I was finished before I was sidetracked and got sidetracked on the folks in my inbox. Let me just go ahead and say this, that if something were to happen to that brother and he had sent me that message with that plea to tell his story and to share and just say that's unfortunately, say I just didn't pay attention to it, or I just said, oh, okay, this is some BS or whatever, and I just let it go and later find out something happened to him. Can y'all imagine how I would have felt? Could you all imagine how that would have weighed? Deaconess Earl, could you imagine how that would have weighed on my heart? That guy is sincere. He is sincerely said that he is in an undisclosed location. He finally feels safe. And something happened. He was violated in that house. He experienced some things in his childhood that has seriously affected him. And I'm going to say this, a lot of sanctified people did a lot of damage to their children thinking that they was worshiping and praising God. They denied them the opportunity to play ball. They denied them the opportunity to be active in school and sports and other things, all that under the auspices of being saved. And it wasn't Big Mo being saved than a man in the moon. It just was depriving those kids of opportunities that they should have had and that they would have been able to have. And it wasn't right. It wasn't right. So I know some things happen. I think that I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. That's right. You can tell a Morehouse man, but you can't tell him much. I'm gonna say this. I really felt that there was some molestation, and that there was some sexual violations and some things, like when he said that his sister was offered. I think he had some elements to some of the things that he was saying. That's why I let him talk. And I wanted him to talk, and I wanted him to feel respected, and I wanted him to feel heard. Because if he felt like, you could tell that, can y'all tell that he felt vindicated, that someone heard him out and someone listened to him? And he made a whole lot more sense than the brother that claimed to be sane. He wasn't insulting nobody. He didn't jump and get in his feelings and get defensive. Did he? No. Mm-mm. conducted himself a whole lot better than the one that say he's supposed to be in his right mind. But anyway, that's enough about that. All right. Janice, how we doing on likes? Yes, Deacon Myers. And thank you for that, sir. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Oh, that was another thing. So we're going to, we're going to do a show. We're going to do a virtual fundraiser for Deacon T.L. Myers, who is running for Jacksonville School Board. We are loving and praying for him, and we want to do good. We want to do a good offering for him so he can get his yard signs out, so he can get his t-shirts, so he can get his mailers. He got some heavy lifting to do. This is a campaign, and he got to run a good campaign. He got to get them mailers out. He got to get all those mailers out to all those registered voters. And we got to buy some stamps, y'all. We got to buy some Pitney Bowes. We got to help him slap some ink on some paper, get them nice postcards out and them door knockers. And he got to go out. He got to teach and go to school. He working on his PhD. And then on Saturday, him and his team, they got to go out and put out yard signs. Come on here. They got to put out yard signs, and they got to get them door knockers, and then they got to get them phone bankers and all that good stuff campaigning. I ran my first campaign when I ran for school board. I got 30% of the vote. Ooh. And I'm telling you, I had to fight. That was a fight for that 30%. I was mad. I do not like to lose. I do not like to lose. But I ran. I thought 30% wasn't bad for my first time out the gate. I sure don't. All right. All right, we are at 124. We went at 124 likes. So that's right at about half. Okay, anyone else has an offering? Does anyone else have an offering? Thank you. Someone says, I agree. They said the mother was going to deny all allegations. Yes. Yes. All right. Anyone else? Okay, we've been on overtime. I've been on 3.5 hours. I want to thank everybody for joining me tonight. Everybody that gave. We had some I'll say power packed. I think 2 very power packed interviews. 2 very, very power packed interviews, and 2 perspectives about church and church families. Wasn't that something about April though? Can y'all imagine? Then you tell the wife, and then the wife still wants to cover for the husband, and then want to play like she want to befriend you. And man, there's some deep stuff going on. Y'all, we got over here on TikTok. Over here on TikTok, we've got to discuss this. I'm going to stay up, and we got to discuss the guy Xavier on TikTok that, okay, so Xavier paid for the guy with all the tattoos. So the guy with all the tattoos is an OnlyFans guy. And he does same-sex sex on OnlyFans. Word is he did a episode with 5 or more partners. It was unprotected. So the guy Xavier, who has 1 million plus followers on TikTok, and I need all y'all to start following me because I'm gonna hurry up and get 1 million. So y'all start following me. Everybody on TikTok is 70 or how many. We done started and stopped 3 times. All of y'all on TikTok. So the guy Xavier that got, I think, 1 million followers or whatever on TikTok. Okay, he comes to find out he offered Walter Hampton, who is a weightlifter and is said to be a receiver. I'm trying to use my choice of words carefully. Is a bottom. And he offered Walter $5,000 to be able to do some after hours adult things with Walter. Walter turned him down and made content out of Xavier, who has about 1 million followers on TikTok. He made content out of Xavier's request to pay him $5,000. Yes, this is the tea. Y'all need to run me up, run these numbers up, share the live. Share the live. Yes. Not Mr. Never Homeless. I don't know who that is. So anyway, he offered Walter Hampton $5,000. Walter Hampton did not take it. Okay, I'm talking about some TikTok personalities. What's the boy's name with all the tattoos? Because the boy with all the tattoos did a scene with an adult content creator by the name of Jacoby. And the scene that he did that was produced by Jacoby had multiple, I'm trying to say this politically correct because I don't need none of my pages. I need every one of my pages active. So he did the scene with Jacoby with all of these partners. So, okay, Xavier evidently, once he couldn't get Walter, so now the word is that Xavier it's so messy, but it's so good. Okay, so the word is that Xavier, who is got about 1 million followers or so, right? pay for the boy with the tattoos that was paid by Jacoby to do this adult scene for OnlyFans with 5 or more partners that was unprotected, came at the request and got flown out at the request, and the payment from Xavier. He went to Fulton County to the health department and came back that he tested positive for herpes. And they made content about it. And the guy Xavier, who is this big alpha buff guy, and all these real alpha male and these real masculine gay men got a lot of y'all food. So he didn't pay. He offered to pay Walter Hampton $5,000. He didn't pay to fly this boy out here. The boy said that it came back that he tested negative for the big one, the big alphabet sexually transmitted disease. I guess we can say that. But he tested positive for herpes, and he got a prescription that can suppress, because herpes doesn't ever go away. They just have drugs that can suppress it. Herpes and syphilis stay with you forever. And so, but he has something that can suppress it. And the guy, Xavier, is crying, boo-hoo crying, boo-hooing, crying, and only then known the guy for like 3 or 4 days, and said that he really liked him and that he's really you're really a good dude. And all of this, right? So me and my friend, they just sent me the stuff. So we dissecting it. So I told my friend, I said, that boy Xavier is crying because he because he didn't have relations with the tattoo boy that got all the tattoos on his body and on his face. They didn't have relations, and now he know when he go to the health department, he gonna probably test positive for herpes too. That's why him crying. He ain't crying just because you really a good dude and this is so terrible that this is happening to you. No, it is so terrible that you done probably paid $5,000 to fly that boy out here to get you something that you can't pray away. So anyway, we're gonna be up on TikTok. It's already about 2:00 in the morning. We're gonna be up on TikTok. Marquise where is Marquise at? Marquise, we get ready to be up on TikTok. We're gonna talk about this tonight. Okay, wait a minute. They say I'm going live. We're gonna be up on TikTok. Y'all better run my numbers up and run these hearts up. Y'all better run these hearts up and share this live and follow me, so we can talk about this. We got to talk about this on TikTok late night hours. Y'all know we cuts up on TikTok late night. Wait a minute, the AI summary on this 17 phone says breaking down a story about a viral controversy. Share your Oh my gosh, let me see if my watch is charged up. Oh, my watch is charged, y'all. Evie Shanama. Oh, but I thank God. All right, y'all. It's time to go to bed. It's time for me to let y'all go to bed, except for my TikTokers. We gonna stay up and we gonna gossip on TikTok for a little while. Wait a minute, they say, William, you are so crazy. Oh my gosh. Yes, so we're gonna do a fundraiser. So Deacon Myers, you gotta let me know a good day, and we gotta get your picture and all of that, and we gotta do a flyer and send it out so we can do a virtual. We're gonna do a virtual fundraiser for the chairman of my deacon board. He's running for school board, and we want him to win this seat. All right, and and no donation is too large or too small. So we're going to do that. And I'm going to try to get Bishop Jordan on and have him on so we can host and raise some good funds for Deacon Myers. Okay. I think the Lord will be pleased. All right, the last on the Janice, let's one last look at our likes just before we go for Facebook and YouTube. Just one last look for our likes, please. Yes, sir. I'm glad you think that it sounds good. I'm glad that you approve. And he did not even ask that. The Lord just dropped it in my spirit. Lord dropped it in my spirit while we were on. Amen. Amen. So one last look before we get out of here. I know y'all got to go to bed. I know y'all sleepy. We got to go to sleep. We got 129. Okay. All right, that's good. All right, so YouTube and Facebook and Pixel, we're going to go on and we're going to get off of here. Thank y'all so much for tuning in and for all of your faithful support. I appreciate you so very much. Please like, share, subscribe, all of those good things. So please like, share, and subscribe. The higher our numbers are, the higher our audiences is, the larger our reach is, and we definitely want to grow by leaps and bounds, consistently and constantly. Amen. Consistently and constantly. She said, "I am up." We're on TikTok. Oh my gosh. Okay, low. Oh my gosh, low. All right. Okay, so. Okay, so the low power mode is gone off of the what? I just love all these Apple gadgets. I do. All right, y'all. Good night. And see y'all tomorrow. Please like and share, share over on, especially on Facebook. Share it. The more y'all share it, the more the numbers will go up, the more popularity, the more followers, and all of that good stuff. So share, like, all of that. And subscribe. Y'all got to do all of those things. Okay? All right, y'all. Good night.